cliff for Nova to buy some time or try to pressure fire one another. But what we know, Alter Ego, the pressure fire, it's not over yet. They are still going to have a neck on neck with one another. But you know what? Apple spotted out Paraboy, and Paraboy goes down, and then boom, coming as a third party over to Nova again. This is coming from different angles we're talking about.
Ooh.
And they are being spotted by one team of another. Now coming into the areas of Infinity. They're trying to find somewhere to go. Jimmy with a smoky buggy. Guy, you need to get out of the buggy now, because you know what? Somebody's going to spot you and you're going to go down frozen. Being froze in that particular area, can't go anywhere. Sendo, on the other hand, having an engagement with LGD.
LGD from the top, actually not knowing the position of Yangon, I believe. They were just pincered and pressured to make their way within the circle.
Salamat sa
But
share negatida.
knowing that they're playing on the edge, they have to kind of expect gunfires coming in from the forefront, but they have to make a way across regardless. They like it or not. They will lose one member, but I think that's a negligible sacrifice to maintain their firepower and presence within this map alone. Still out for the taking here. 3 members, just as lethal as most. But if only they can find their way in without losing any more.
Thanks
Meanwhile,
for
Geek
the like,
Fam,
John Gerard.
looking like they're going swimming, coming from the northern side.
Definitely a good strat for Geek Fam. They are in the
Salamat sa
waters,
share,
and
John
waters is still
Gerard.
part of the circle, so this is pretty much smart for them. But boom,
First, sabi ni
trying to
Manji.
hit onto Frozen,
No, no.
but he is pretty much frozen where he is. The only one being left, or let's just say being separated with his teammate, that is Jimmy. Currently trying to find
Thanks
exactly
for the
where to
like,
be.
Gary
They are right
Falguera.
smack in the middle of a lot of teams. Can see them inside, but Mika coming out from the shots chose to be aggressive and decides to take one down, even though his teammates are not in a
Thanks for
safe
the like,
area
James
just
Roy
yet. He's
Basco.
going to do that as a favor for Geek Fam to be on that heads on, giving a warning,
Saan po yan,
a
sabi ni
very
Monique?
stern
Ano,
warning
final
over
whale,
to
final
bow
whale,
now.
Monique?
Thanks for the like, Monique Below
Geek
in
Fam.
this Pahimalan
Under the crosshair
Grandia.
though, it's Voki from 4 Rivals.
Napanood
You
na
saw a
final.
little bit of a
Yung dito yung
silhouette
idol
of
ko
a pop-out turtle hit there.
Salamat sa share, Monique
But
Below
would
in this
not be
Pahimalan
punished in the
Grandia.
process here, but now they're going to close in behind Bandam themselves. So there could be, circle favors the likes of Geek
Thanks for
Fam
the
with the
like,
maneuver
Reeds
they just
Ryan.
made.
Move
Finds
it,
their
fuck
way
move
within circle. They have to take up Bandam
Final
and
na
maybe
ngayon,
take
pre.
over the little compound that's left there
Wala,
within the
champion.
circle. It's by far the only viable compound if you're looking to play it till the late game.
You're right. But that viable compound, Keith, is actually a lower ground. The ground that we probably won right now is actually where Boom is in. It's a vantage point, but they have to control a lot of contests that might come in left and right for them. Now looking to LGD here, already have focused fire. GDGID trying to pressure them from being in the blues. They're trying to force their way in. It's only, it's coming to the 4th circle. So painful. They got to run in first. That's the reason why we're seeing a little bit of the healing before they pressure even more. Now LGD is still stuck. They can't go out. They can't move out because they know there's somebody already seeing them. They have to extract the opponents here, but shots are coming from the other angle, and that's a beautiful grenade. At the same time, cover fire. Good timing for LGD to make their way out.
Yeah, it was GD that's pressured because they're in the blue and had to push against the likes of LGD. So LGD held that position so brilliantly. Meanwhile, they lose Ziz though. And Geek Fam pushes onto Bandam. It is one member of Geek Fam up against the rest, but they did bring it, the entire member pretty low. That'll be Yuhai down for the count. Geek Fam still has the rest of the member to play. And Yuhai isn't like officially down yet, but if they look to come in, obviously too hard. Second time now takes on the front page here. Up against the member of Nova. It is one Frozen against all the other Frozen Bacons, I guess.
Yeah, the frozen bacons. He's already being knocked somewhere by looking into 4 rival Pamburu. Now proning, getting into the perimeters. Again, they were a vantage point all the way downgraded themselves into that lower portion. But this does not mean anything because they still can fight. Looking to SMG from the distance. Wow, that was a beautiful shot. Managed to get one. Now that is already one down. They got to focus on the rest of them while they are opening up for rivals, having a little bit of that lower hide and seek for Pamburu and Voki.
Man, 4 Rivals just got this entire compound in a lockdown here. 2-member down. SMG only has got memory, and I don't think it's wise to go in with the revive. Meanwhile, Geek Fam pushing onto Bandam's compound. That's still going on, already losing Yuhai. The rest of the member can still look to fight, especially with Damroot in sight. Eliminated will be Team SMG for the time being. But Geek Fam, they're slowly clawing their way to this compound and call it their own. Damroot's
Thanks for
trying
the
to
like,
make it
Fran
onto an
Marson.
off
Yeah.
angle
Fran
here
Mar,
to
what's up,
maybe
Fran
gun
Mar?
down back. And it's looking like it's a clear open here as Boom will have to address
Thanks for
anyone
the like,
that comes in
Vibito
from the
Gibril Amper.
southeastern side.
There's a lot of teams you're talking about, Kiev. There's Zengon, there's Infinity, and possibly the Savior would come into
Thanks
that
for the
area
like,
also, but
Jemuel
GDGRD
Dagwayan.
can't make it in the blues. Too painful, not enough healing stuff for him. And now trying to cook a grenade. Lamborghini definitely have heard the footsteps, but shots are fired from Romeo, and he will definitely see the so Bacon Time, but no, they're not gonna get any damage, but no more vehicles for Bacon Time. Now still going forward, there you go, Lamborghini managed to confirm
Yung mga copyright niya.
getting the
Thanks for the
elimination
like,
point,
Yellow
not
Jello
one,
too.
but two already in hand. Bacon
Ang copyright yun,
Oh,
pang
being
music
targeted
lang yung
by two
copyright sa
teams
video,
now.
hindi yan mga...
Thanks for the
Mga
like,
YouTube
John
lang yung
Michael
mga-
Vargas.
Comes, I mean, we've talked about their prowess. We've seen them perform in the regional stage here, especially in the SEA Games themselves. These players are not new to the game, and they sure have a recipe for
Galing nga,
success.
nandito yung idol ko eh.
And they're gonna
Pinapanood ko yung
practice
idol
it
ko, guys. Nandito,
all they
nandito
want
yung
to.
idol ko
Four
si
rivals
Yuhai.
getting gunned down again by
Inverse
Duck.
ng Geek
Thanks
family.
for the
DX
like,
just
John
coming
Paul.
off across the board with all these kills, getting punished in the process though. Traded is not done just yet as they try to push downwards the spine of
Isa
the
kasi kailangan
hill.
mo manood ng tournament kasi...
Furmore against Bacon Time against
ganito
punished
kumukuha ng
by four
technique.
rivals.
Panoorin mo
Ooh,
kung
but
paano maglaro
Boom
yung mga
already
pro
getting
Thanks
the
for the like, Aljum
trying
League
to survive it
HSSN.
and holding it up
Panoorin mo kung paano
well.
maglaro
They
yung
came
mga
in as a
pro
third
player
party, and
para
just
malaman
like
nyo
that,
kung
Savior
paano yung technique
had a
nila
game,
mag-rotation.
had a
Dito ako
plan
kumukuha ng
coming in
rotation, kaya
slow,
kapag
but
nag-tournament,
still
manonood
they're being
talaga.
targeted too much fire in front, and they had to be convicted out immediately. But Damrude, being the survivor, he knows to place, he
Thanks
knows
for
the
the
place
like,
well, he
Noel
knows
Romero.
to choose exactly where to be and not getting targeted. You know, even though he's spraying so loud right now, everybody can hear somebody is here somewhere, but where he
Thanks
is,
for the like,
and
Sanjay
he can't get a
Vargas.
shot over for himself.
Yeah, at this point, I think nobody
Nabuhay pa yun.
cares looking at the
Nabuhay ka
area
nabuhay
he's
sa-
at. It's not
Thanks for the
very
like, April
popular to be
Sanhaga Oy Lupez.
Nag-i-stop yung live.
time in the phase of the circle. But I guess, you know what they say, the best part is in plain sight, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. Meanwhile, Infinity, they drown and get onto Bacon Time themselves, but will get punished in the process here. Young
YG na.
goes from the far end, just punishing any sort of advancement from Four Rivals, who's trying to go in with a peek and shoots down onto the low ground.
Thanks for the
They're
like,
doing a little bit of the
Igros
jumping,
Nolias.
trying to get
Baby
information
smack,
of the
kaya
teams
sila.
that is trying to
Ganun
strike on
laban?
them, but they know definitely there is only one person left for Bacon Time. Trying to get into this person seems
Thanks for the like,
impossible
Baby
because
Smith.
they need to get a clearance in order for them to push in, knowing that the circle is no longer on them. This is definitely ASAP. They need to do it ASAP, but there you go. Pamburu managed to get that last person, and this is going to give them an open entrance again for them to come in. Now prey on towards Yangon Galacticos, who has been putting pressure on them. But again, now the circle still belongs to Boom.
Looks like you might just pay off with a great prediction here.
Ang hirap
Boom,
ng
smack
sitwasyon
dab
ng
in the
ano.
center. But
Thanks for the
I
like,
would say
Ralph Magalano.
manpower, and it's
Ayun,
there's
Nova.
not much obstacle right in
Ayun,
front of
Nova,
them.
nag-iisang
The moment
members ng
Nova
Nova
goes
is-
out, Four Rivals will
Isang
this
member na lang yung
Boom,
Nova.
who might even have to leave it should the circle close away from them.
Yeah, but looking into Frozen, look at this guy, Sugar. This amazing, isn't it?
Thanks
he has
for
been
the
there
like,
since,
JR Tinom.
Shout out kay
circle
Boss
number
Ralph.
3, and he's
Yeah.
still alive. I know he's frozen. And
Hi,
Pika
sabi
will
ni
be
Fran.
spotted finally with 1 HP left. He will be knocked with Capone, giving that good strat of sprays over towards, but that is not going to be the end because Damroot will keep his trigger discipline. He wants to go for the survival gameplay right now. That's the only chance for him and his team getting the points out of the back here, but Damroot has to force the fight right now, and the painful blues. He's doing the
May
same.
pumatay.
Being spotted from the distance by Boom, and out he goes in the lobby.
Sana napasok niya yun eh.
Opportunist is the Wolves themselves, although Solitary not working, and the pack still gets the kill, gets the job done, and that is Boom securing their position
Isang
again.
buhay pa sa Nova
Smack dab in the center, and we talked about Frozen and how he's actually frozen in place, not making moves, not actually twitching the muscle here. Galacticos
Ganda pisto sa
now
YG.
eyes and have sight.
Sampo na yung patay nila. Uy.
Salamat sa follow, Jarel D. Dolent. Ang
Against the
sarap-sarap
compound
mo.
where Boom currently resides. They might go into a
Hindi
Mexican
nakikita siya,
standoff
no?
with
Eh,
Nova
ang
Frozen
members ng Nova.
being the decider
Thanks for
on
the
who
like,
comes out
Jarel
on
D.
top.
Dolent.
I don't
Ganda
think
ng
Four
tutok.
Rivals know the existence of Frozen being just right beside them. That could be a kingmaker. That could be changing for Four Rivals themselves because Frozen is really waiting for the last few moments and he might just run into a snake pit because Frozen is just right there and will be targeted. Marnet seeing not one but two in the distance for 4 rivals. And you know what? Just
Wait,
like
parang yung
that,
Nova.
one by one goes down like a domino. And you know what? By then, boom, will take down 4 rivals. Now, suddenly it's a 4v2 situation.
It's a time for reset, though. Young Gun Galacticos, they have to push the issue. If they give too much time for them to reset, that's going to be pretty bad. Now already getting shot down. Not really on his knees yet. Can't go with
patay.
the retaliation is there. The opening is in. Running
for
straight
the light
onto
age,
Boom, and
Dumalao.
he will claim it clean. It is Young Gun Galacticos. One from Myanmar. Takes one home. The first chicken dinner on an official map, Sanok.
Wow, that was definitely planned well for Yangon Galacticos. All they gotta do is have a little bit of that trigger discipline. They were waiting so long and luck on them. Luck was on them, the circle was on them, and all they gotta do is just push in and push
Thanks
in
for the
and
like,
just
Mark
get everything
Vincent.
covered.
Casa
And
buena,
that's how
Latambo.
they win that chicken dinner.
Yeah, I've seen them actually, although I wouldn't say that they were the passive teams with luck this time around. I've seen them pushing and prodding, taking a couple of members, or at least
one pa lang,
diminishing
pero
the
yung nangunguna,
health bars
Infinity
for a
taga-
lot of teams within
Thailand,
the
yung
area
Thailand.
here. And so
Michigan
actually
din.
poke their way
Michigan
into
sila para
victory. It is
Iba
Young Gun
extra.
Galacticos, what seemed to be a
Para
far
yung
stretch
pangalawa.
team playing on the northern side.
PUBG kasi, wala
Here they
pa
are
naman.
right now at the
Pilipinas
finish
PUBG,
with the
wala
chicken dinner.
nangyayari.
It is day 3, match number 1. 4 more to go, and can
Pilipino.
Young Gun Galacticos make it for the likes of
Filipino talaga
Myanmar?
sa hindi nakakapasok yung
Even
Pilipino.
yesterday they had also
Elimination
very
pa
good
lang, hindi
finishing,
nakakapasok
and
yung mga
today it's
Pilipino ng mga
coming
Pilipino.
out again. These are one of the few teams that decided to do a comeback, and they are definitely
book
coming
for
back. Though I
Violet.
kind of got affected with
Ano,
their
all violet
hairstyle.
yung buhok.
I know, it's all purple. I like
I like
myself
it.
a purple hair, you know, you stand out a bit. Let's take a look at some of the highlights that happened here. Oh, look at that. This was one of the crunch time moments. M9 Depth 1v3 could have pretty much nailed in the entirety of Alter Ego if it wasn't for Geek Fam, who's also well within compound. Yuhar tried to
Yeah,
push in
hintayin natin,
one-man army
hanggang
against
game
Van
5
Damme,
to
gets
mga
punished. But eventually they made it through, so it was a worthwhile effort for Geek Fam in surviving in the game.
There you go, yeah. From the distance, and this is how they all got into one another's angle. Because of the circle, it decided to favor into one portion, hence the rotation can be targeted into just one-sided, where just one focus point. And there you go, Damroot tried to do a clutch which nearly was successful, but because Boom had an open area to see him from the distance, and Marnet will see and disturb for rivals within a few seconds.
Look at that, 10, 11 kills from Young Gun Galacticos, and that was excluding the 2 more they got from these last few hits here. 13 plus the 2, surely they have 15, 14 kills and the chicken dinner. That's one way. If you're talking about a comeback to be made, Young Gun's taking the first step in the right direction. Take a look at the focus board here. Young Gun Galacticos with the most traveled distance, and Boom Esports also at 4,000 meters. Nova here at 4,005. So fair enough, they're a bit higher onto the threshold. But it is Young Gun who's walked the longest miles and paid off in the process. 51 seconds within the blue.
You're right. And check out the throwables that is being used by the teams here. Not many, because most of them was long distance shots. Hence, they don't really have to cover or throw into anybody's area with grenades. But this is our match ranking for the first day, or the first map of the day. We've got Yangon Galacticos getting 15 elimination points, bringing them to 25
Thanks
total
for the like,
rivals.
Robert
Tried to
Malasibes.
squeeze their
25
way
points
in,
na
even though they
nakuha
weren't the second team to actually go back in the lobby. But because of the elimination points that they held, 9 in total, they got 13. And Boom, getting the circles. They got circles ever since it
points
was
lang pala yung
coming
chicken
to
dinner
the
eh.
third, and they managed to get at least a total good of 11 points.
Yeah, the rest, as you can see, follows, well, negligible points, around less than 10. I guess 6, 5, 4, 3 goes down onto the way. And unfortunately, the team I called actually went out early. So, but we have the man of the match. It is one from 4 rivals itself, the one that kept them at second place in terms of the total points earned. It is Voki doing damage from the far side here. 4 eliminations, 915 damage. Longest elimination distance at 135 with a healthy team contribution at 35%, earning him the 5.2 MVP points. So this one's for the Malaysians out there. You can be proud that this boy is still performing strong.
Yep, he is definitely up for his name. Voki, the one that will rush 4, all the elimination points, and now looking to overall rankings. Definitely that pushed up a few of these teams here. Unfortunately for Infinity, they only managed to get 2 points because you know what happened to them earlier. Got targeted into 2 different areas. Not only just them, actually Nova was also in an area where they couldn't move anywhere. You know, they were being targeted straight from one angle to another angle, but still they are consistently at number 1 and 2 just because they have reached the 3 points. 3-digit points. That's the reason why they are still there.
Yeah, FaZe Clan didn't see too much of them. I think they bowed out the earliest here.
Yeah.
80, will they be still in the top 3 division? So still very attainable towards the top end spot. But Infinity now, they have to be a bit more careful and finding themselves in sticky situations, or at least figure out how to come out from that, because this is 2 games in a row that they've been pincered towards a corner and just can't find their way out. And right now, the difference between number 1 and number 2 is about a game apart. Or assuming a game and a half apart, right? Because assuming a good game brings home 25 total points. But we can go on further with the theory craft. Let's take a look at a recap here. And Sis Jenny, why don't you tell us how that chicken dinner was earned?
No, that chicken dinner was easily given into Yangon Galacticos because they all had an idea in hand where we don't have to push when we are not being pushed. So that's the only target that they had in hand, and Yangon Galacticos just focus on towards getting into the circle. Now we're seeing into these 4 teams here, or the top 4 teams that managed to get there, because they are quite close to the circle, and we all know in Sandhawk, lesser rotation meaning it's lesser work. So that's the reason why a few of these teams managed to get a backup. But honestly, the team that I'm actually quite surprised is Nova, because they were being distorted so early, but because they are so used to being, you know, like survival game, and all of them have been playing solo versus squad, so they know exactly on how to survive on their own. Because we saw how Jimmy was separated by Frozen. 2 of them were different positions. So one is very close to Infinity, and the other one was Frozen right smack in the center. But he is able to stay alive. Because of that, they got into top 4. And this is the rotation that was exactly made here. That's the distance between they are separated. And now looking into the angles that they are coming in for Rivals, knowing exactly they got the vantage point earlier, so they got all the information and they scoot all the way up, try to get everybody out of the perimeters, and that's how they probably got themselves into top 4. But unfortunately for them, when they are coming into the last few circles, they were being seen by Yangon, because Yangon, again, their target was just to get into the circle and disturb people at the last minute.
Yeah, but that's not... I mean, I would agree with that, but remember, at this point, they already had 8 kills. So they weren't just like making their way in the circle. They had to fight through blood, sweat, and tears to get into this position and maintain that position. Did you notice that they actually sent 1 member swimming to scout out the entire playing field before they actually make the push on forward? So Marne was already coming in from the flank side from the northern rivers, and actually position himself and set up Yangon Galacticos for success this match. And man, I rarely say them in this light, but that was smart plays right there.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely something great, knowing that a few of these teams we can see for ourselves that their firepower is definitely more, but they have to use their mind, you know, mind games a little bit in a way to get themselves outsmarted by one another. But this is the QR code that has been popping out while the match was ongoing. This is PMCC, 1 squad, 1 goal. So QR code is here. Scan it now. Register now to qualify in the campus leaders. And the prize pool, how much is that, Kev?
40,000 ringgit. More than that, 800 if you want to be specific, but we don't like specific things here. We'll just call it in a general note. First qualifier here. Go jump on it. It's your leap way into becoming a pro yourself. And I know there's a lot of teams who's looking for talent outside within the pool, and that could just very well be you out there in the leaderboards itself. So do something. If you have the passion for PUBG Mobile, just scan the QR code, register now. There's nothing to lose. You've got nothing to lose. And you, in fact, earn a little bit of experience playing in competitive scenes. But this is another thing that you should put your eyeballs on. It is the new ultimate set that is coming soon. So if you're gonna ask me what is the set, I do not know, unfortunately. But you have to stay tuned to PUBG Mobile to find out. But based on the graphic itself, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, sci-fi-ish. But this is something that we know, Nusa, which you have seen earlier in this show match. And yeah, there's a lot of things to look forward for in Nusa. I have a lot of fun in this match, myself in this map. besides the quad, you guys need to try the quad. I wish this quad is like in every map. I really love this vehicle. Really, this is like my favorite vehicle. I don't want buggies anymore. I just want this.
Isn't a quad just a quad bike? It's a quad bike.
It's a quad bike, yeah.
Oh.
But it's so
Walang game
sturdy,
to, ah.
you know.
Thanks for the
That's
like,
not what I
Leiden
had in mind
Edward.
in real life. People say that this is the worst in terms of stability. It's supposed to be bouncy, just because it's for all terrains itself, so it can't be too stiff. But hey, go try it out. Try the quad out. If it's too dangerous in real life, do it in game. That's what this whole thing is for. That's what games are about, right? It's an escape to another world. And
Escape to Nusa. And actually, it's a good place to, know one another and get somebody on fire. I have yet to try put in an arrow to somebody, but here we go, looking into Team to Focus for Miramar. And of course, we are not surprised to look into Infinity, who has 21 elimination points
Oh, si
for
Paraboy, konti
Miramar
na lang
itself. I mean,
yung
they are the
habol.
ones that
30
holding
points
on
na
to
lang
the
habulin nila,
record.
Paraboy.
And again, following up
Tapos
is
maging,
Nova,
champion
right
na siya.
behind them with 16, and then LGD
Kailangan na matikin din na
with
ng
17,
ano
and we're looking
Nova
into
expert.
Eagle Esport. Again, Eagle
Hindi
Esport, they
na
have
tikin
been
din na
quite
Nova
consistent in
expert,
Miramar.
meron.
Ever since we've seen them in existence of not Clash, but all the PMs.
so we'll have to see if they're continuing that consistency all the way to Miramar himself. Meanwhile, the most damage across the board here, we have Voki now coming in at number 1 with 915. This is for today itself, obviously reflecting from the first match that he got the 915 damage. Next will be another one of his teammates from Buru, and after that, Damroot from Geek Fam. And now, this is what has happened so far. SMG with the show match, chicken dinner, and 1,000 USD. Now, Yangon Galacticos with the chicken dinner. We're going into the first Miramar and the only Miramar match of the day. And are you ready for that?
I am ready. It's Miramar. We're talking about the only Miramar. We're looking into long distance shots, yeah. And I want to see, because yesterday the first day and yesterday we did see a few of the teams actually use snipers like cars. I did see M24s. So this is probably the only maps that we get to see this first as early as that. Probably Infinity will go into the areas of where they usually will farm, or the vantage point, or the pinnacle point of where Miramar is, where the big mountains are. And usually these teams will come all the way up and try to disturb one another.
Yeah, I've honestly seen Nova playing that sort of strat back then in 2019. I believe it was for a PEL tournament where the entire team of Nova has got one objective: loot, drive up the hill.
Thanks
pass
for
it
the
on
like.
Paraboy,
Wala
who's
akong pake sa'yo.
going to stay on the
Wala
hill
akong pake sa'yo.
Alright.
for the entirety of the game. But of course, it's all circle dependent.
Shut
If
pa, wala
circle
pa akong
does
pake sa'yo.
close
Shut
away
up.
from him,
Shut
then
up,
that's
grabe
probably
naman.
not the strategy to go on with. But I would like to see the Chinese team specifically play the Miramar map, because I've always known them to be one of the more tactical teams within the scene. I've seen them how their dogfight play out, and they're never really just running and gunning. It's like taking control of the entire area and catching people
Thanks
in the
for the
crossfire.
like, Ian
That's what
YT.
they're known to do
Yeah.
best in the region when it comes to Miramar, and so I'd like to see that play out again today.
Yeah, definitely, because we're talking about Clash here, and knowing that China, there is a difference with their PUBG Mobile and ours.
Yeah.
The difference in the sensitivity, in the gyro, in the ADS, and this is already being used by a few players, and they did say. So that's the reason why
Thanks
we're
for
seeing
the
a
like by
challenge here
Enihor.
when they are clashing. So both of them are having a little bit of different in the
Alam
style
mo,
of gameplay.
gusto ko na manood
And
kung sino mananalo.
we are able to see the skill sets as being utilized here, and we did see like how teams from China, how fast of accuracy
Thanks
they've
for the
gotten.
like, Clyde
when
Paul
people get
Gomez.
into the or behind the tree, within that second, before he can step foot by the tree, he's already been gunned down. And I'm definitely looking forward for LGD. One of the players that I want to see him play is actually CC. You know why, kid?
Why?
He's the most expensive player.
Oh, how much did it cost? 1.8 what? You gotta give me the denominations here.
Million!
Oh, million what? What currency we're talking about?
I'm not sure about the currency, but he's the most expensive player right now. And he just got transferred into LGD.
Oh, now congratulations.
I wanna see him play.
They've got an expensive player here, and so will that affect your challenge? Oh, it does affect your predictions. In fact, the both of us going on full-fledged China this time around. China number 1, it seems. We've got a game to cover on, but man, I guess
Tagal,
with
guys.
that,
Wait lang mga
I would
natin load
assume
yan.
that's your explanation behind the votes you have. Expensive players wins games. So here she is voting on for LGD. I will stick to Nova just because pure consistency and the way, you know, China likes to play things. Getting into vehicle start, immediately going for the hunt. They're aggressive at most, and they're a good shot. But like you mentioned, settings are quite different here than the PEL or the China region. And so there's a lot of adapting that they have to do, which is even more impressive, because for Nova to still be in second place despite not playing this version of PUBG Mobile before means that they are a feat to be reckoned with when thrown into a comfortable situation.
You're right. So we can see definitely the skills are being
Thanks for
shown
the
upon
like,
us
Kian.
here,
Saludo.
seeing all these magnificent kind of movements. But you know what, kids? Even if I say it's LGD, that is if CC is playing. If he's not, then I mean we want to see him play. I mean, he's the IGL scouter right now, so we do want to see CC. So far, I've not been seeing him at all. We have been seeing the rest of them, but hopefully he is going to be appearing and we get to see why is he so expensive.
Ay,
You guys
lakay.
believe you guys can
Stop
Google it.
lakay.
Really, he is. He's just
Salamat sa
transferred
share,
from
Generoso
one of the teams,
Borgoña.
and he is right now in LGD because he got himself a whole lot of MVPs. It was a fight between Order, Jimmy, and himself.
Thanks for the like, Prince
Well, I'm
Billy.
asking the same question too, because if he's paid that much, then he doesn't show up, then what are we paying you? What are they paying him for?
Yeah, we want to see him. Come on, CC, we want to see you. CC.
Make an appearance, CC. Make her happy, right? She's looking. So if you... I'm looking for entertainment on the
Thanks
screen. Looking
for the
for
like, Mark
highlights. What
Andre
were you
Low
talking
Neither.
about? What were you getting all so crazy about?
No?
God dang.
But you know what? Who else I would like to shout out to is actually the comment sections. But yeah, we are going to fly into
1 minute,
Miramar.
guys,
But the
andyan na.
comment section, you know
Yes,
what, kids?
Miramar.
Every year, without
Tangina,
fail,
Miramar pala.
without fail, you know, we always have
Miramar,
a
please,
crowd
Miramar.
of viewers from India.
Oh.
And they are always supporting all these competitions.
1 minute,
So,
54
you know what,
seconds.
even though if
Thanks
they are
for
not
the
in
like,
yet,
Darwin
in
Sky
the MTC, they will
Camarillo.
be in, but they are always there to cheer upon and look into this tournament. So these are, again, a
38,
group of
ayan
people
na.
who has always been watching the live stream.
Hey, man. Shout out to those in the comment section. Hey, you're in here with
Thanks for
spirits.
the like,
You're the
Lakay
reason
Gamang
we're here,
25
to be
sabi ni Boss
honest.
Ian
Because if
YT.
there's no
25
viewers
seconds,
for the English
simulan na.
section, then there's really no reason for us to be here if no one's watching. So, hey, shout out to you. Go drop it down in the comments. A tap in your back. What? That's not a word.
You think-
Hashtag pat
Thanks
on your
for the
back.
like,
Yes,
Roel
that's
Pañares.
the word. Tap on your back. What does that even mean?
I was about to think like, wait, are we selling things here? Click on the back, guys. and buy keys, okay?
Anyways, enough with the chitter
Ina.
chatter. Off to the desert dunes
Ayun na,
here. It's
Miramar.
burning hot.
Miramar yung game.
Sensation.
Game 2,
Miramar
Miramar.
is at play. PRMRC. It's the PUBG Mobile Regional Clash, and we are in the first desert dune.
Yay! Already have flown into the place where we probably see a lot of snipers coming to vantages, and looking into the flight route, it starts from Tori Ahmada and in Minas Vista and Prison. Flight route seems A-okay. Again, everybody has their designated areas where they would go into. We're not going to see the first few contentional fights here. We're going to look into quite a long, I would say, engagement. We're going to wait for it. Looking at, this is the only Miramar that they will play every day. One Miramar, one Sandhawk. They will try to take precedence out of it. You know, teams that can go for farming and teams that can rotate all the way till circle number 9. We will see that happen, guys. I mean, yes, we didn't see it in Sandhawk, but trust me, you will see it because I've been observing since the first day and yesterday. There were a few matches that went all the way till circle number 9. I was thinking, oh my god, is that gonna be a circle number 10? This is my first.
Oh, I mean, 10 is a good number. 10 is nobody stops in at 9 or 8, right? You go to multiples of 5 at the very least. So, hey, let's break that 10 mark. Meanwhile,
Salamat sa
take a
share,
look at
Reese's
the flight
Baldi.
path here. Do we have teams who's playing over in Minas del Sur? Because it seems like Genesis Dogma, they're already only just leaving the flight. So it seems like they're a team that plays down at the bottom over in Prison, which is unusual, especially now that Circle close up against the northwestern side of town here. That would have been a Young and Galacticus favorite, it seems, because they are in El Pozo team. So this should be good on their end. Meanwhile, FaZe Clan, despite the troubled start previously, they are now gunning down members from the champion team of the first match of the day, the show match.
Yep, it's not
Nanonood
quite
din
a
sa
surprise to
Idol
see
Duty.
that
Hindi
these
kami
two
kasi
teams will
kailangan
be neck
yung
on neck
manood,
with
guys,
one
ng
another because their drop spots is
Kukuha
right
lang-
smack beside.
Minsan nanonood
Or
kami
let's
ng
just say,
tournament
when
para
they know
kukuha
they're
ng
right
technique.
beside, they will go
Kung
in
paano
for the
mag-push yung
closing
isang
first. That's the
pro
reason why
player.
we're looking into FaZe Clan
Kailangan
being
mo minsan
so
manood ng ganun para
defensive
makakuha ka ng
over
technique
in
kung paano sila
the
maglaro.
areas of Picado,
paano
where they
yung
want to win this
rotation
area
ng
by
player.
themselves so that they
Kaya
are
minsan
able to,
kailangan
have
manood ka rin ng
this area to
tournament.
loot. And
Pwede
looking at it,
maglaro ka ng
SMG
PUBG.
already have
Kasi
one
nakakadagdag
man
kasi
down.
itong
So this
talent.
is going to give them another one down back in the lobby. It's gonna give confirmed back into the lobby, and this is going to give that momentum for FaZe Clan to actually go for more.
May dalawa ng patay
Yeah,
na.
nobody should ever snooze on the fact that FaZe Clan carries the talent of Tony K into their arsenal, and he's been doing damages. He's been dealing damages for the
Masarap
time
po
being
kaya kay Sir
already.
Markin.
Trying to go on it. Oh, just missed it by a couple of milliseconds there when SMG came out with the peak. Surely they've got an idea. Oh, SMG walks past by him
Ganda
here.
mo ka.
11 gets got down. And now, FaZe Clan. They have only got 2 members in that same area, but SMG, they're making a push on forward. Pick Feet
Is MG
will
pala
be
kalaban
there,
nila.
trying to come in as the backup for the likes of Terminator from SMG. He's right, they're trading it right behind rusted vehicles, but he's got to watch the window side as well, as any gunfire can come from
Ang
the
galawan
top.
to guys ha. Pag gumalaw, patay.
Now doing a little bit of the reset here. Two teams, Win Torres coming from the odd angle. There's still going to be advantage for FaZe Clan, even though, hey, we know MR5 has the information, but look at the gun that he is holding on to.
Come on,
Now trying
shotgun.
to shoot with a shotgun, obviously it will not, but having a trade here coming from the back support. Now Pick Feet will have to
Dalawa
be
down.
face-to-face with Vin Torres. Now he can hear the footstep coming from Vin Torres. He knows that, oh my god, one person is coming in, and he's trying to
Ang
pick
binubuhay.
in to look into how many is there right in front of him. Now doing a jump
Going for
punch,
a
trying
flank.
to disguise
The flank.
that.
Patay.
Saw him. Oh, that was so close. He was trying to jump his way forward. He's got a rough idea. That was
Boss
a
ng
good
SMG.
attempt for SMG. Unfortunately, does not
Gigil sila
execute
kasi
it
akala nila may squad
flawlessly.
wipe nila.
He was actually trying to disguise his feet, like footsteps, and then you know what? It didn't happen because
Top
it's
2 na
fake.
sila Paraboy oh. Nandito
But
si
yeah,
Paraboy pa lang.
that fight
Ba expert.
already have said to Team SMG that Picado FaZe Clan wants to be in, and they're not willing to give it up to anyone else.
Yeah, FaZe Clan come out clean. 4 kills, 4 members still alive. So that was the best case scenario for them. Not losing any in the process. Meanwhile, you see the QR code on the left-hand side of the screen. Do give it a little bit of scan and get yourself registered. Get you and your team registered here as 40,000 ringgit more prize pool
Thanks
is
for the
at
like,
stake,
Sig Magpantat.
up for you to win. And
Ganda
so
ng
you don't want to
laban.
miss out on that one.
Yeah. Now looking into the Savior, who will just do lootings right now. And at this point of time, a few of the teams will already focus to do rotations. Again, we're looking into teams who will go for that long distance vantage points. A few of these teams are already getting into these areas. LGD, not sure if CC is in. Oh, he's not in yet. Oh, wait, he's in.
Yeah,
He's in.
CC. Yeah, that's him, right?
Sorry. I definitely need to change my spectacles. Initially, I couldn't even see. Then now, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get the guy because his name's spelled cute.
Cute. Yeah. I thought it was just CC. Now I realize, okay, he has been playing, guys. So, yeah.
Oh.
That's the
Thanks
player.
for
So-
the
Well, that's
like,
why we
Juvan
know since
Gabale.
Jenny loves him so much.
What? No.
He knows it himself. He's called himself cute, and I guess since Jenny appreciates that a whole lot. Hey, no shame in
Matingkod ka
that.
mamaya,
No
Idol
shame in
Sab.
that. You
Mamaya pa ako maglalaro,
gotta,
manonood
you
muna
gotta
ako nito.
acknowledge a beautiful person when you see one, huh?
Yeah, right. Thanks. I am that beautiful. Yeah.
Hindi,
Anyway,
bukas
guys,
hindi ako makakalaro eh.
baking time.
Magkikita-kita kami nila
Now,
Papakentot.
trying to look for
Papakentot, Embuela,
information. Teams
Boss
are
D,
getting
tsaka si
comfortable
ano, si
in these
Pangs.
areas. You know, in Miramar, it's important for
Magkikita-kita kami
for
bukas.
us, any players, especially pro players, to get into Vantage Point. One, information. Second, when you are having a contention, you will have the time to reset as compared to other maps that you won't have the time to reset when you're having a contention. So all these different maps have different kind of game style. So probably the first early fights to the middle fights or early game, mid game, they would go for this long distance. And when it comes to the
YG din pala to,
last
eh.
part of the circle,
Hindi
they will go back
nakakabol
into
yung
CC.
YG.
Thanks for the
Ano ba
like,
This is the
Mark
time where
and
they're going to take
Pangalinan.
advantage of whatever guns that they're going to pick up. It is going to give them or the damage towards the opponent super painful, so that you know when
Thailand
they
yun ang
push
una,
one
Thailand.
trigger or when they place the
Tatlo
trigger
pa rin
button
Thailand.
already, they will get a damage and get a knockout immediately.
Indonesia, 3 din.
Yeah.
That's a very detailed breakdown of the fight. I wish that
It's
were
a
happening in real time, so at least we can,
Ay, natatlo.
apply
Dalawa lang.
knowledge
Thanks for the like,
up
Green
on the
Buhayan.
battlefield as it happened in real time. But I guess we'll have to wait till every single one of those play out later on towards the later part of the game here. Still only the first circle.
Dalawa lang
And
si China,
Sem9 found
dalawa.
their way into the Bird's Nest region up on the hills, the mountains. And we'll have good coverage across the valley here. And unfortunately, no one is next to them at this point.
Nobody.
Thanks
It's just
for the
nobody.
like,
It's
Marco
the
Antonio
early
Agas.
circle. This is the first circle. We're seeing a lot of these teams trying to spot one another out, but I think a few of the teams are also doing trying to outsmart one another. Looking into Boom, who had a good start today. They managed to get into the second team out, even though in overall rankings or in the match rankings they were at number 3. So I'm believing that the momentum is still there for Boom after yesterday's gameplay. Now looking to Alter Ego, we're looking to Fnatic here, who is over in the areas of Chumacera. Apparently, I don't know where the circle is, honestly, because apparently Chumacera is not part of the circle already. So probably it's looking into the northeast or west. Oh wait, there you go.
There we go.
Thank you. Oh my god. You're listening to me.
They are. Of course they listen to you. What are you talking about? Of course they listen to you. Meanwhile, where is it going to close? El Pozo seems to be the next best bet here. And, well, Younger Galacticos, that's usually their drop spot. But I think they have rotated onto the northern side pretty far out, it seems. So they will now have to push back onto the place they once called home. And Sem9 denying entry to Geek Fam once again.
Geek Fam being targeted here, trying to get into the hills that they call home, but it's not going to be home like what Kev said. We'll deny the entry, but you know what?
Thanks
Snipes
for the like,
managed to do
Joshua
a
Bintor.
get back
Knockdown
here.
yung isa.
This is definitely a cover fire. In fact, Sem9 was the one who decided to open the trigger. It's similar situation here. We're looking to Sandhawk because Sem9 was the one who pushed, and then Geek Fam decided to retaliate, and Geek Fam decided to do that and get themselves that point. But looking into LGD here, we will stop people along the way of this rotation. Like I said, early rotations has already begun in Miramar, looking into PMRC as early as the second circle. Already we're seeing battles here and there, but here we go. These two teams are not gonna live.
Well, one of them will live at least, but it might seem like maybe Geek Fam, if they get the shot onto Lord of Harm, Damrude finds his way into the B line. Has got to be careful though. There is Putra playing behind a rock. Will he spot him out first, Damrude? He has to address the
Thanks
immediate
for the
threat
like,
that is right in front of him,
Kyle
but he falls. And that would be one member of Geek Fam down, maybe even confirm that kill. So they lost the flank side battle. And now Geek Fam, surely you're in too deep to even get out of there. Yuhai, his pincer down. He needs more backup, and now Putra has got free reign to poke in the backhand side.
Putra getting ready, and we're looking into Harm, who has already confirmed one enemy, or he definitely have seen a potential threat over in the small shed, which is Harm, looking straight into the direction of Snipes. Yeah, getting knocked already somehow. And Adib's trying to control it again, and LGD will try to go and look forward for more to feed on. And they are going to go on that pinnacle spot. No, we're going to take a break, not yet, but Mika OP trying to get back on towards Sem9. Now, still it's a trade-off here for Geek Fam and Sem9. And deciding to go off, Adibs will do a rotation down and still getting spotted here. Putra will get knocked somehow. And he will be thrown back in the lobby again. Looking at this is still quite a tight battle between Geek Fam and Sem9. I can't say who is leading.
Yeah, but this one's the tight battle itself, right? Close quarters combat here by LGD with the sheer numbers will outpower the likes of Younger Galacticos. And that will be LGD taking one down for the count. Micah OP now proceeds back into this battle between Geek Fam and Sem9. He has got a rough idea in where Adips may be. Toss the nade out forward. Will it clip though? It's a far fetch. And will not, but he will show himself against straight down in the process, and that would be Sem9 eliminated at 15 plays.
Sem9 initially had a good start.
Thanks for the like,
Idol talaga yung
but they are
Geek Fam
slowly
talaga.
falling
Ang
into
angas mag-rotate
pieces,
talaga.
looking at how
Doon ako
the
makuha
match
ng
have
technique
begun
sa
for
kanila
them
eh.
ever since yesterday. But
Angas
hopefully they get
mag-rotate
back
talaga.
up.
Tatlo na
But
patay na yung kasama
looking
nun,
into
pero
waiting
naubos pa
time,
nila
who
yung
has
apat.
already spotted Boom, spraying away,
Lakas.
but still Boom will not care.
Lakas
They will
maglaro.
still push into the circles and now focus back into Alter Ego. And FaZe Clan, Vin Torres, the sniper, he will just hold on and get information.
Well, he will.
Ay, thank you kay Mark
Nagsend ng
Anthony.
star si Mark
Bibigay
Anthony
tayo.
Enriquez.
Oh, I think that was Alter Ego that scouted out, but now they're going to reposition up on this hill. Alter Ego heard the sound, the roaring sounds of the engines, immediately exits, trying to go get some info, peeks on Nova, catches no one in the process, and so Alter Ego might be living in paranoid after that one. Meanwhile, Nova going up against D Xavier.
Thanks
Already
for
one
the
member
like.
getting knocked down on the far side. It is an uphill battle, but can they come out on top? Nova.
That uphill battle with the M24
Thanks
in
for the
hand.
like, Elmer
That's the one that we
Jambito.
are trying to see here over in Miramar, and it was being utilized by Frankie towards Paraboy, who's currently have been lifted up doing the revival. The Savior won't push, but
Salamat
another
sa
one
share,
goes
Elmer
down. Order
Jambito.
next to go by Duck, and definitely he will be back in the lobby looking at the tappings here. Super painful, and there you go. So Nova pretty much
Thanks for the
currently
like, Mark
down in the
Reynanti
gutter being
Asuncion.
targeted right smack in the middle here, and Nova needs to go elsewhere because you know what, the vehicles, if it's still available, it's a bit difficult for them to push back up because you know the distance of that particular fight. But here we go, another fight here, Eagles versus Infinity.
Oh, nice nade. Catches onto Logan. Logan now on his knees
Kasi
here, but
Sindikato, sabi ni
Infinity,
Elmar.
they do
Shout out,
have the
ito na,
numbers to
ito
still
Infinity
fare
yung
well
top 1 to,
evenly
guys.
against Seagull Esports.
Top 1 yung taga
But
Thailand.
Namshan
Tignan natin
and
kung mapatay
Chua,
yung mga
they've
taga
got
Thailand.
nades for
Patay.
days, and they're tossing more one out, one after another. They might just clip onto anyone. He's going in for the run. I'm sure you've heard some of the footsteps. He has the Molotov, but will he
Buhay yung
throw
taga
it in the
Infinity.
right side? No, they go in for the pickup. Mila already, first person position. Trying to go in with the close quarter combat, but Logan goes in for the revive and the reset. Bacon time now against D Xavier. Alter Ego trying to push on onto the likes of FaZe Clan, who's got a successful start. Tony K, he's got a rough idea. He's seen bodies right in front of his eyes. He can call in their next appearance.
So
It
good pala to
seems
sa piece eh.
now that the audio cues moving on to the left-hand side, they have a rough idea. Can they close this one out? FaZe playing by the corners. It is Alter Ego watching their front and their rear, getting shot down, it seems.
Yeah, but from
Ano
another
naman yung
side, you're
Infinity,
looking into Fit, taking control on towards Gotuni, who's on his knees right now. But on towards Fit, he don't have any more vehicles right now, and he is gonna get gunned down because another team is just right on top of him. If you look at see into the mini map, this is but
Shut up
the
na, walang
end
juwa, boss,
that
sabi
is
ni
just
Mark
around the
Anthony.
corner. So Eagle, they're trying to be the Eagles on the hill, but unfortunately,
Barinig kita sa mukha eh.
hop their way back up. Or I'm sure they can't fly up,
galing.
even though they are Eagles. But first person in hand for beer
Baka
is
Christian
going to be
Syndicate. Oh,
from
dalawa down.
Alter Ego, and this is a good
Patayin na
plan
kayo.
that has
Pasugurin
been
yan,
planned
guys.
so far, and it has been executed very well. Alter Ego
Tatapang
Dion
nyo,
was
ah.
just walking into the snake pit.
Top three yung
Even
kalaban
though
nila
he's
eh.
doing the
Top
jump
three yan,
punch
guys,
right
top
now,
three.
they would exactly know where the situation, exactly where they are located, looking to face. They're gonna just push.
They have got an idea. They know one member's down. They're going in for the revive, maybe. But now Alter Ego trying to choke them out through the one access point towards his allies. Getting gunned down. They are not looking right, but they did get majority of the members in that general direction. Still not going down just yet. FaZe might have bitten more than they can chew. They see two members. They have got a right idea. Beer 11 coming in for the flank, but some of the members have been confirmed. And that was Tony K.
Uy, natalo
itself.
nila yung FaZe.
Alter Ego turns one onto FaZe Clan.
Natalo nila. Gek na naman ang
Overextended their
putang na. Ito na yung
welcome
idol ko, guys. Oh,
Jack
sa
had
UI,
booted
oh.
into the lobby, man. Just where we were praising them, they come
Idol
and
to
do
maglaro
this.
si UI, guys. Tangina, ito yung idol ko
That
talaga
was such
mag-PUBG.
a bummer. They had a plan,
Napanis yung mga
but it
kalaban
didn't come
dito
in
eh.
handy. But here we go,
Idol
another team
maglaro
that
yan
is
si
going to be
UI,
gunned
members
down
ng
is
Geek
looking
Time.
to 4 rivals. They have a fight with the,
Puta
I
na,
would
pinaubos na ng kalaban ng
say, this
Geek,
is
oh.
like the clash
Idol lang,
of the rivals. And
Umahabol
sure
na yung
enough,
Geek. Top 10 na sila.
it is like the brothers. But they're not brothers, yeah. This is where things get serious, even though they are from the same country. Unfortunately,
five kill
Geek
na, guys.
just fought with Sem9. And now fighting with 4 rivals, and apparently only leaving with Pumburu to
Taas yung
stay
kalaban.
alive.
Well, he is a hunter. Survival instincts should be his forte right now, but he's got eyes on
Hindi ka
Bacon
na matalo.
up on the top cliff. Does not connect with that one.
Masinggan.
And they did
Tangina,
try to chip
masinggan
it
yun.
down a little
Grabe,
bit. Now
Infinity
Mila
natin.
takes out Alter
Tapos
Ego
naman
members,
magmasinggan nun.
or whatever's left of them with that skirmish up against Geek Fam here. And Alter Ego just tanking the blue for the time being.
Grabe,
Just can't
masinggan
find their
yung
way
tinira.
out. Not without Infinity noticing.
Yeah, Infinity will try to push in one by one before getting into the circles. They are playing really by the perimeters, and their place pretty much is open on towards a lot of people that might have eyes on them. But now they have extracted that the enemy or something that will disturb their rotation, which is bound now, that is right beside Silence, has been silent already back into the lobby, and now they're really doing it to a focus fire one by one at a time, and then they might get into the position. So even though the tappings has occurred, Logan will get away. Nuzi getting the counter
Thanks for the
fires,
like,
getting
Jimwell
into
Lator.
2E.
Galing maglaro
Eagles
talaga
will
ng
be spotted
Infinity.
here, and this is really, I would say, another plan that they have been planning, and it's been doing so well so far.
But look at how Infinity are taking this engagement, right? They're never over peaking, and if they do, they know that they can
Pati pa
tank a couple of
IPMRC,
hits
sabi
before
ni
they go
Cindy.
down. And so they've been getting this crucial pick off, but the pressure's on them. Again, sticky situation. Every other team gunning them down at the fort. They have to weather through the storm if they can do
Galing
so,
maglaro ng
because
ano,
they
galing maglaro
have
ng
been
Geek.
pincer
Idol.
down over
Thanks
and
for
over
the
again.
like,
And
Resi
right now
Ellen
it's no
Rontail.
different as the Eagles has got eyes onto them. The Predators will be gunning them down, and it seems like there's nothing much they can do.
Counting them down from the distance here. Again, we're looking to long distance shots. And this circle is going to focus
Yan na lang
into
yung
right
circle,
smack
guys.
of
Hindi
crater
pang kompleto
fields.
pa.
This is where you're going to see a lot of craters, and hence we are seeing a lot of these levels, the terrains, all the different kinds of slopes we're looking into. So they have all these things to actually cover themselves up, and this is going to give them more time to actually locate one another. Now we're looking into probably zone number 9 and above, looking into this circle. But now spotting
for the
on
like,
towards
Joselito
2E,
Ademan.
West will not take his cover out, and he knows exactly there are teams that is trying to squeeze in, that is Eagles, and he has eyes on towards 2 teams right now. He can focus on to 1, but Fit here will try to get over the shots towards GDGID, and GDGID having the advantage of the vehicle, he will rotate elsewhere. Now giving them more trouble is GeekFam. GeekFam will try to find their way up, but you know what, they're gonna push.
They will try to push. I guess they're forced. Their hands are forced right now, especially
Thanks
with
for
GD
the like a
trying to
Hotski
separate
Duran.
the flank side support with the main members up on the front line. So Yuhai couldn't even go in with the peak to try and prevent the death of
Patay
Snipes
Geek Fam,
here.
dalawa na lang.
Got one member in
Ano lang
place.
pala.
And that would be Geek Fam on the lower end of this trade here. Yuhai left remaining.
Thanks for the
but
like, Jun El Araken
Yuhai
Lorco.
na lang
Genesis
natira.
Dogma, they're coming in to reposition. I nearly slurred them out as Genexus, but that's a total different team after all.
Thanks for the
Here
like,
we
J
are
Mike
at it.
Tilo.
So they still pincer down 5 eliminations for GD, dominating as we speak. Getting gunned down now is Boom
Thanks for
Esports
the
under
like,
the
Jansen
radar.
The
Gapusan.
radar, that's exactly what keeps possible for them to spot one another.
Thanks
It's
for the
coming
like,
on the
Sima
lurks.
Franca
And
Rodrigo
Yuhai
Martin.
is from another side of the lurk. It is coming from Bacon Time. Now everybody,
Sila Yuhai.
the
Oy, may
places
chance
that they
na
are
yung
in
ano.
right now, it's
May chance na
super
si Paraboy na
impossible. Either
mag-champion,
they are
guys.
down in
Ay,
the gutter,
mag-champion,
or they have
mag-top one.
all these lurks that they
May
can
chance na yung
just
Nova
come in
Export
and
mag-top one.
shoot
Top
onto
to kasi yung
last
Nova
few
Export
bullets
eh.
here. And look into Pamburu.
Pag
He
nanalo
has
yung Nova
such a
Export
good
dito,
place to
magta-top
be
one
in.
sila mga
And that's the
Lodi.
only probably prominent place to survive right now, which is in sheds. Hence, but of course they can't force fight. All they gotta do is do survival games. Unless the teams that has gotten themselves this leverage of these particular areas that we're talking about, they can gun down onto one another. Again, this is looking into areas like there's cliffs, there's regions
Thanks
to
for
play
the
with.
like, Arsenio
All they gotta do
Castillo
is just wait
Jr.
for the next few circles and who's gonna be on top. Because right now the circle is focused all the way up on the Regis.
Yeah, just like to point out, Nova is still in as long alongside with LGD. So the China powerhouse that we both voted on
Ang hirap
still
ng sitwasyon nila.
very likely to get the top few finishes within the circle. But we'll see how things play out. Now Genesis actually has got eyes fixated onto the likes of Bacon Time themselves.
Sila Paraboy, kung
A
sila
little
top
bit
no. Pag
back
nanalo
too
sila
long
Paraboy,
up
top
on the
one.
roast. Right under the sun here is this member, Shirley S. And so they have to gun him down if they're looking to maybe make a push
ng bilog.
or forward without getting punished in the process. And so more members of GD falling like flies.
Yeah, falling like flies. There you go by Bacon Time. Noah's getting a very awesome position. I would say a prime position to be in. He can look into a few teams that is currently stuck right now. GDGID for Rival and also Boom looking into Bobo Ho. He's pretty much already eaten by the Blues, no more, and will be eliminated at number 9 with 0 eliminations for Boom. And now being targeted, unfortunately, is Pamburu. He will be gunned down. He can't go anywhere. Bacon Time will have an easy fleet to go in. You look at that, the entrance for Bacon Time. The only team that they probably can focus on is actually D Savior, but they will still have a lot of space to do that reset while getting or dodge a bit of their bullets away. And looking to ice, Bamburu now taking advantage, trying to spray on towards with whatever he has in his M4. But now he will try to do a little bit of the reset right now. Bacon time. He's actually doing a reverse.
Well, he's got no reason to shoot here, Bamburu. He really want to give the position away. But talking about entries, though, LGD makes it in from the northern side. Nova right next to them as well. Yangon also from the northern area. Can they have to fend each other off if they are looking to stay within competitions for the time being. Now Bacon Time making a way downhill, giving up their position, that prime top hill position being open. That's a lot of the firepower pressure gone for the count. That is Bamburu for 4 rivals, secured their way into the lobby itself. And now Bacon Time trying to play in even grounds, it seems, as they are no longer the ones on top. It is D Xavier Axe.
The Xavier Axe here already have separated in 3 dimensions. They're looking into a triangle here, hoping that the teams would go into the trap. But Nova will try to do a YOLO right now, getting uphill, but being spotted by Loki, waiting for the right time. And I think this is going to be his prime position. There you go, there you go. 2 knockouts, easy peasy, just like that in the back, and we'll finish it off by a sniper.
Yeah, that was a risky play at best. I don't know why you sent 2 members up on that hill push. If you sent 1, sure, that makes sense as a scouting mission, but sending 2 members, that was worse for wear. And now Yangon Galacticos nailed it too, removing the possibility or the odds for Nova to actually come out on top. And now they have to play the rest of the game out with only 1 member, that is Paraboy. LGD will now have full reign, trying to push up onto the top hills. It's not going to be an easy feat, especially with D Xavier there. And Yangon now occupying the back end. They will have to make the movements now or never.
Yeah, now trying to build a wall of smoke, knowing there is Paraboy in the way. They will try to do the extraction if that's possible. But GDG ID, Daybot, who is covered by a ramp and a buggy, so that's definitely a place for him to be right now. But Paraboy already getting spotted here. They're trying to leave him out, but definitely they know they have to get him out of this. They gotta extract him out.
John
but he's being
Manuel
targeted by
Olisa.
2 different teams actually. A Loki from Yangon Galacticos and also LGD, who is trying to get their way into the circle. These are the teams who have not made into the circle yet, so it's going to be a long way for LGD to pass through Yangon Galacticos. We did see Loki with the good trigger discipline. He waited while the teams coming back up in, and now I think D Xavier would probably just be neck on neck with Daybot.
Well, things have taken it for a slow turn at this point, but Duck will now toss on a nade right onto the ramp side. That's clip. He saw the
Thanks
hit
for the
counter.
liking,
He has
KJ
got an
Quibo.
idea on where that 1 member is from GD, but he's trying to play chicken right now. He's going to weather the storm.
Thanks for the like, JM
don't move a
Malbago.
muscle, because that would be what they expect. Meanwhile, Younger Galacticos free sights onto LGD, gets 1 member down to the process, can maybe look for the second one, prevents them from actually going in for the revive. And now Yangon, they've taken over majority of the topside hills. It is LGD who's got not much of options to play around with.
This is why I say Yangon Galacticos have a good
Dating
trigger
Nova
discipline.
yan.
This is what they
Dating
do.
Nova
They will
yung
wait
maganda.
and they will make them caught
dating
off
Nova.
guard,
Ngayon,
and that's the
nandito
time
sila
they will
ngayon.
strike.
Sila pa
This
rin
is
yung mga player,
something
hindi
about
pa rin
Yangon
nila.
Galacticos, at least on their game style. In each of the maps, they will utilize this, and this make them consistent. As of
Mamatay
now,
na yung
look,
Nova.
they are already in the top 5 teams already, making up on top, and they're
Chance na
still
iba mawawala.
gonna try to gun them down. LGD suddenly being over,
YG, pero magaling na rin itong
being
YG.
manipulated.
Kanina
In
pa
fact,
nakabawi
they were
ng
trying
YG.
to get off the
Galing
sides
baba.
of Paraboy,
Ngayon, top 4
and
na.
unfortunately, right now they have
Sabi
to
pag
turn their
improve ng
backs
YG.
on towards the other angle, not making their way up immediately. Now getting targeted to 2 different corners here. These Saviors have eyes on LGD. They're not going to make it an easy way for them to come in. In fact, CC is already down. And Daybot still stays alive even though the hit markers was on them for D Xavier. So Daybot will try to do whatever it takes in order for him to get back on the wolves that will bite them from the back here. And now looking into Yangon, will prefer to take precedence into the circle, will try to strike down into LGD, but will not click onto the grenades right onto Marnet.
Well, QTC burning in the blue.
Dati kasi sila sa ipan
Doesn't
yun, wala
seem
pa
like
si
it.
Paraboy.
Goes out, gets
Kaya mo
shot.
sindikato.
Yangon, Marnet.
Unang-una pa lang,
will
nandyan na si
secure
Paraboy.
LGD
Hindi yan binago hanggang
spot
ngayon.
in the lobby itself, down to the last 4
Huli
teams
ka lang sa
remaining,
balita.
but Xavier has got
Ako,
the trigger
nung
discipline
simula
to
ng
get
PUBG
their
pa ng
way
tournament, nandyan na yan
this
si Paraboy,
far
hindi na
into the
inalis
game.
yan.
Hasn't moved a
Naman
muscle
pa
just
lang.
yet, but now
Laban pa
unfortunately
nila
has
yung
to do
mga
so.
BDR tsaka RRQ,
After
nandyan
taking
yan
over
si
the
Paraboy.
entire high ground, they
Ubas
will
na
be the
siya
one
ng uba dati,
pincering
wala
down
pa
the
yan sila sa
Shoots
ipan.
member of GD, eliminated as they may. Bacon time. Maybe they might feel the
At hindi ka
regret of
nanonood ng
letting
tournament,
letting and allowing DX take on these hills for themselves. And so now it's a 3-way battle.
Yeah, 3-way battle, and suddenly we're looking into teams who were not awake yet yesterday, or even let's
Pero
just say the first 2
Pag
days.
sumali ako,
But
baka
today
matalo
they
eh.
are awakened by the Kraken, and it's looking into Yangon Galacticos and the
Ang ano daw,
Savior.
pang-Intel lang daw ako.
And Bacon Time, of course, squeezing their way
Galing
inside
ng ano, galing
somehow.
ng
They
taga-
have
ano,
been
ito, Malaysia
making
to,
their
guys, oh. Ano?
lights over
Malaysia,
in
Thailand
the
na lang
top
yung
5,
natitira
and
eh.
he's trying to get
Taga
into
Malaysia
the
to.
pinnacle point, and they
Yun na,
survived
magagaling
already.
din
Now
yung
looking
Malaysia kasi
into teams
galing
that
sa
have
top
to
10
gather
ngayon at
or
napatop
get back
4
up
nila.
is actually Yangon Galacticos, because looking
Grabing
into the
Malaysia
teams right
ngayon.
now, 2 of these teams have already
Hindi ko alam
safely
kung
made their
anong
way
mapa
up.
yan. Pakistan
And
ba
Yangon
yan?
Galacticos
Thailand.
actually have a safe entry to just
Thailand
get
kasi ito,
themselves
yung
inside,
Thailand
but they
isa,
don't want to
tapos
use
ito,
that particular
Malaysia. Kasi hindi ko
entrance
alam yung
because it's
isang
pretty
ano.
much predictable.
Ano
So
yan,
they want to
Pakistan?
go into being lizards. So if they have a buggy, this would definitely help. But hey, how in the world is Bacon Time gonna get into the Savior, honestly?
Well, this man, Arm,
Ano, tignan
he
niyo
is
naman nakakita
actually trying to scale the walls here vertically on top. But the Xavier has got a rough idea that they might do so. And this is literally
Oh,
what the Greg feels like. But the nades
Kita
catches
niyo
onto
yun?
one member. This is great
Grabe!
entry. Ziz
Nakita
is
niyo
on
yun,
the
guys?
ground.
Unti-unti
Frankie,
siyang akyat doon
can
hanggang
he fend it
nag-grenade
off
niya yung
against the
pinakatuktok?
3 members of Bacon
Ang angas
Time, who
naman
now
nun.
will proceed on forward as the circle closes against
angas
them.
ng paghagas
And
ng
they'll be
grenade.
waiting from the bottom side, punishing them in case the Xavier is looking to make an exit.
Yeah, and looking at how cleverly it's being planned here. Wall of smoke is being deployed for Bacon Time to cross in safely. Shirley will be on the ground first to do a little bit of the healing, but Dark here will try to
Di ba
spray
iPad
onto
yan,
that
iPad
wall
yan,
of
Idol?
smoke
Di
towards
pwede iPad
Bacon
dito.
Time.
Cellphone lang
But
yan
still,
lahat.
they will get
Lahat
away
yan,
safely,
cellphone
no problem. They will
Bawal yung
flee
iPad
in
sa
nicely,
tournament.
and as much as
Thanks
they were
for
trying
the
to
like,
get
Mike
back up, but they realized,
Villanueva.
you know what, the circle is here, and you know, Yangon Galacticos, they don't even have to make their way up. They can just stay here, and although this is quite a risky circle, and Keith, welcome to circle number 9.
Oh, we are here. The last man standing,
Galing,
it
galing.
seems, goes down to 3 teams. Healthy enough with at least 3 members on each teams here.
Sino kayo
But
mananalo?
now,
Thailand?
I think Yangon
Thailand ba,
Galacticos might
Malaysia?
come in as a surprise because Bacon Time, they're not
Galing
ready
din yung
for that
Thailand eh.
unless they
Yung
have
Beacon, apat pa
find a
yung
spot
Beacon
out or members of Yangon, hence the smoke in the area. But now Bacon Time finds
Patay.
themselves sandwiched between 2.
Tayo sa members ng
Finds their
Malaysia.
way in the sticky situation. What seemed
Ay,
to
hindi
be a
pala
great
Malaysia yun.
exit now turns really sour,
Patay
but they
din.
will fire back onto the Youngos.
Sabi, gross.
Losing members one after another. This is prime situation for DX to come on clean. They are from the top side, and they have the most members to play around with in this map alone.
Yeah.
DX, can they close this game for themselves?
Yep, and I really like the fact that he's armed with AUG, the new buff gun actually being armed here by Marnet. And he's already using it full master
galit
clips
yung Beacon,
on
no?
him already, trying to gun down one another, but
knockdown.
being spotted from a
Dalawa sila doon,
distance
isa na
here.
lang.
Ay, 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 look into the Savior. One by one goes down like a domino because of Shirley.
Oy,
That one,
nauubos
Shirley,
sila,
and
guys.
2
Nauubos
teams
sila ng
left in the
Beacon.
lobby.
Tong inong
And now
galing.
looking at it, I think Yangon Galacticos will be on a rush here. Will try to spray on towards him. That
Yan na lang, last guy.
AUG super buff gun. I really
1
like
versus
the
3.
finishing here, and it's going to be a very deadly one here. Shirley being the man for the team, trying to strike
Oh.
down, but that's going to be enough because Loki is already ready with a
Grenade.
grenade in
Sakto,
hand.
sakto, grenade.
There you
Oh.
go. Winner, chicken
YG
dinner.
na
Game
naman
on. This is
nanalo.
double chicken, bro.
Yeah, but
Vietnam yung
slow
DX.
burner for them.
Galing ng
For
YG,
Bacon
guys. Galing
Time, they
ano,
will
galing
press
top
their
12.
way
Yung
onto
YG,
the edge and finally
apak
go
sa top 4
out
sa apat
at
lang
second
nalaro.
place
Sila
because
na naman
Yangon
nanalo.
Galacticos just
Kaya
came
kanina
out
sila din nanalo,
inevitably,
guys. Grabe yung YG.
ultimately on
Kahit
top
pag-improve.
here, waving a purple flag.
Sila yung
They
nanalo.
have done
Galing silang top
tremendous
12.
feats,
Nagawa nilang
just with
napunta sa top
sheer
4. Tapos ngayon
patience
nanalo na
themselves.
naman sila.
They look
Grabe,
sour at
maglaro
first.
yung YG.
Like Bacon Time already had eyes on the members of
Parang
Yangon
ako lang.
Galacticos. DX as well,
Joke lang,
spring downside.
Ay, sa
It was
102
fortunate
viewers.
enough for them
Galing
to
ng ano.
actually survive
Galing
and
ng
come in
YG.
to wipe,
Grabe,
to
pag-improve
reverse
ng ano.
wipe the entire battlefield.
YG
So
guys.
Yangon Galacticos deserving of that back-to-back chicken dinner.
Wow. But this was just a back-to-back yesterday.
Meron pa-
They
meron pa
ended the day
tatlong
with
laro,
chicken
mga
dinner.
lord.
So they were
Vietnam
on a
yan yung ano,
momentum
DX
and they are
sabi nila.
still firing on as we are
mahina yung
as
load
we
yung DX.
have seen them so far.
Ito biglang lumakas
And
to.
this tactic
Simula ng
or
game 1
the meta
hanggang
that they
game
have
2.
been adapting has been working well. You know, being quiet, doing the trigger discipline, thinking
Sabi
that
pag
the
improve.
enemy is
For the
probably
light
thinking that, oh,
Balbino,
this is
wala na
the
sila, parang
option.
biglang
Exactly
kinakawawa
how
lang nila eh.
he got not only
Galing
LGD,
ngayon maglaro,
in
sila
fact,
parang-
Nova has fallen into their trap also and gotten the sprays right in the center when they thought it was, you know, it was safe. But no, it's not. They're being targeted.
Yeah, Nova is a team where I think they're just playing it ultimately very, very risky in this tournament. Maybe to get away with it in a far more aggressive sort of setup, but when everyone's just playing tactical and holding angles, Nova just finds themselves in a position where they're under gunfire. This was a clutch moment that SMG nearly come in with a flank side shot. Unfortunately, cannot clip onto anyone just yet. And overall, a lot of great teams.
Thanks for the
played
like,
this match.
LA.
Bacon Time finally see their way on top. So that's another representative, a good map for Thailand to still have, you know, representative in the top 3 finish.
I really like the fact that,
Walang
you know,
Pinoy
this
dyan, Lord,
circle,
sabi niya.
even though how
Lahat sila
hard it
bigor.
is,
Naku,
a
hindi
few of
nakapa-
these teams taken
Elimination pa lang,
control
hindi na
of
nakapasok
the
sila bigor.
disadvantage. So probably some of the teams, it was an advantage, but they kind of squeeze in into that area where they can get advantage out of their disadvantage. And now looking into Yangon, this is the part where they are playing their trigger discipline game.
Hirap
They
makapasok sa
waited
tournament.
and waited for people to fall in the traps, and all
Thanks
of them
for the
did.
like, Jervin
And 2 of the
Salud.
teams here, and not just that, they managed to get the people on top on the peak areas of the current circle coming back down.
Thanks for the like,
Yeah,
Mark
but this was where it was
Bautista.
funny, right? Because Bacon Time actually gave in way to DX, then they found themselves in such a tough situation. If had Bacon Time remained their supremacy up on the high grounds, they probably had an easier way to rotate the other 3 members into the circle if they had to. So maybe, you know, get once bitten, twice shy, they say, learn a lesson learned. But right now, the team to focus, at least for day 3, has got to be Yangon Galacticos. Traveled the most distance despite being an El Pozo team. They went out and back in.
Thanks for
it's
the
true
like,
what you
Lito
said. It's about being
Armarillo.
patient, playing on the edge of the circle as they ease their way in. And, well, closing
YG
it off
na
with
naman
a
na
chicken
natin. Baka
dinner.
maging
Here they
top
are,
three
the
pa
top
to yung
4
YG.
teams
Thanks
on
for the
board.
like, Ron
Yeah,
Serafika.
and definitely it was worthy for them to be in the blue, even though it was only 2 minutes 18 seconds. And that 2 minutes 18 seconds got them not just one team, 2 teams of the terrified ones, I would say, Nova and LGD. In fact, falling into the trap of Yangon Galacticos smartly using that power of the mind games that they have
Oh,
planned
yan, no?
so far.
Total points nila
And
si
now looking to
17.
the match rankings,
Pangalawa,
they've got
Beacon,
7
No, but
elimination
3
points,
points lang.
17 in total.
Okay,
Bacon
extra.
time getting that prime position on top. They managed to
GG
farm
pala,
about
hindi
8
din yung
eliminations
Geek- yung Geek
only.
pala 6 na.
Similarly to, I would say, 1 point less for D Savior
Oh, no,
and
plus.
GDGID 7H.
Let's take a look at the highlight, of course. It is Duck, who wasn't ducking, but in fact was standing up on top of the mountains here. It was king of the hill, 920 damage dished out by him. Free reign to poke and prod with his artillery. 241 longest elimination distance, about a 40% team contribution, earning him a total of 4.9 MVP points. But this is where you know that DX they're one of the scarier teams to come up from Vietnam, and we've known why. They are the
Ikaw
champions
na
for this
maglalaro sa
31st
tournament.
SEA Games
Ikaw
Vietnam
maglalaro
as
ka sa
well.
tournament.
And so
Ayoko din maglaro.
they're no pushovers. And
Maganda
now you see
streamer ka
Yangon
lang.
Galacticos shot up to
Napakahirap
3rd
maglaro.
place
Elimination pa
from
lang, nahihirapan
initially
na ng
starting
mga
off at
Pilipino.
8th place today.
Wow. That's what we get when teams have awakened the Kraken, or let's just say they did their homework. And a few of the teams that was leading yesterday and the Thursday are keeping quite quiet today, looking pretty much obvious in Infinity and also Nova, who kind of struggle a little bit to get into the circle. Again, we're looking into just Sandhawk and Imirama, but this is quite a big stand or push up for a few of these teams here. We're looking to GDGID, Bacon Time, Yangon Galacticos, while the rest of them either they are staying in position or they are going down.
Eh no?
But still, despite
Ayan, YG top 3 na
being
sila.
made,
Tangina,
the
naka-top
top
3
5
na yung YG.
positions still
Grabe na,
occupied with
pagkabol
the Thailand regions, as we all know them to be a very, very aggressive team within the competition, and they are holding up to that name, to that stereotype per se. And so let's take a look, in case you forgot, on the ferocity of these teams. Here is a highlight on how they got, or more of like a map rotation on how they got there in the first place. Take it away, Sis Jenny.
So basically, we can see exactly where they decided to drop in into Campo Mileta. Change it a little bit. Before that, they have been going into El Pozo. But, Yangon Galacticos, this is something like a signature that they like to do. They kind of like to go into the odd drops, I would say, areas that is not going to be predictable for people to come in to crash when it comes to the first few drops. And because of that, like what they did in Sandhawks, their main focus is to get into the circle. Yes, when they see a force fight, definitely they will take, like what Kev said, they have to go through a few battles, and they managed. You know what? They actually dropped into Oasis. I mean, I wish I did get to see what they actually did there. But yeah, they managed to do that. Again, looking to these late rotations. Again, probably right now they have seen Bacon Time, but they are taking a step at a time on how they want to clear it out first. So this is where they actually tried to clear out LGD and also Nova at the same time. But now looking into the other teams that has gotten out of the pressure. They have been fighting with one another. GDGID, we've seen that they fought initially with 4Rivals also. LGD, we know that they are pretty much stuck with Nova. They can't move. They are in the gutter, in the flat grounds, while everyone else is up in the air, up in the skies like eagles in the eagles in the skies looking up to them, and they can't really move anywhere else. This Xavier had to do that diameter where we're looking into a triangle. They're trying to put and make people trapped inside, but unfortunately the circles wasn't on them. That's the reason why they kind of had to change their plan, their gameplay, and still they tried to take precedence where you can see that Frankie was the main person to give that information on towards Bacon Time's position, but unfortunately he kind of caught off guard with that grenade that came into the way. That was probably the start of a downfall for the Xavier when they actually tried to take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, it came down to this moment right here, so it's not an easy push downhill, but Yangon Galacticos, at first, I thought they were being pincered down by Bacon Time, who has got eyes on two members of Yangon's by the wall. However, they addressed that problem quickly, and immediately Yangon just comes in and reverse sweep. And this doesn't happen as often, right? Usually in the logic of Battle Royale or close quarter combat, or whatever you like to call it, dogfights maybe. But the lower ground position is always the ones at a disadvantage, but not to Yangon. Yeah. They pushed up onto the hills against two teams and came out on top in that trade. And so kudos to them. Definitely a hard and much earned battle to be won. Congratulations for back-to-back chicken, which now remains 3 more maps in the official rotation. There won't be a rotation anymore because the next 3 maps we have all takes place in Erangel. So how about that, Sis Jenny?
Yeah, this is where I want to see where the teams decide to take a serious game fight with one another, because we did see so far from the first day, Sandhawk Mirama has been like in a way a buffer for them to actually do different tricks up their sleeves. When it comes to Erangel, they will do more on this cat and dog chase, where they will look into one another's rotations and they will get into one pinnacle place and they will start to farm. This is where we get to see a few of these teams kind of already step up the notch, especially Infinity, FaZe Clan, who will go for the farming initially with one another. But then again, that is all for later, because we want to get the teams ready for you guys for our back-to-back Erangel, and we're going to go for a quick break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Yep.
Salamat sa
Hi
follow,
everyone!
Joms.
In the PUBG Mobile version
mo.
2.2 update, Erangel is getting an overhaul with changes to the map, vehicles, and modes. Without further ado, let's find out what these changes are. In this update, we made several changes to the map. First, the hospital. It's one of the bigger buildings in Erangel. In this update, the following changes were made to the hospital. How to get in and out of the hospital, its structure, nearby objects, and the vegetation surrounding the hospital. Veteran players should know that some of the fences of the hospital can be scaled to enter the hospital. The ones near the ridges are how most players enter the hospital. Now, 2 spots along these fences will be blown up, and players can enter the hospital area through the gap directly. The building itself also got a new entrance. Players that are on the ground can enter the first floor of the hospital directly through the newly added damaged wall. Those who parachute to the hospital can land on the roof and descend to the 3rd floor immediately. These changes will make it easier for players to spot the entrances and streamline their movements in this area. Those attacking and defending will know where they should focus on as well. On the inside, we simplified the structure of the hospital. Originally, the 3 floors had different layouts, and there were many rooms on each floor. So, searching the rooms was very tedious, because players had to go into each room. After the update, the 3 floors are now more or less the same. Some rooms are now also connected, making it easier for players to remember and to search the rooms for supplies. As for the surroundings, we also made some improvements. We added abandoned ambulances and ruined medical crates to the areas surrounding the hospital, so now it feels more authentic. We placed some objects at the entrance of the hospital so that it wouldn't be too empty. This gives players heading toward the hospital a covered area to protect themselves, so they are not directly exposed to enemies inside the hospital. Outside the fences on the side of the hospital, we added a new climbable spot. Players can hide here, or they can scale the fence to enter the hospital. As for the fences by the ridge, since there are now 2 gaps to enter the hospital, we've reduced the number of objects in this area to make it more visible. So now, both attackers and defenders can see each other clearly. Further out from the hospital, we've added some new vegetation, so that players hanging around the hospital will have more places to hide. Milta Power also saw some changes that are mostly in the generator area. Players who are familiar with this area should already know that this section was quite a choke point and was not easy to get in and out of. Those who entered either came out the same way or had to take a detour to the other 2 buildings. In this update, we added a new entrance on the 1st floor to make this area more reachable and easier for players to get in and out. The layout was also modified. We simplified the complex floor plan so the players can see more and plan their routes better. When battles break out in the generator building, players will have more offensive options, making these battles more exciting. In this update, 3 new ports will be added to Erangel. The first port is by Ferry Pier. We added a port here, as well as increased the amount of resources in the area. The Ferry Pier will soon be more abundant in supplies. The 2 desolate beaches to the southwest of Farm and to the south of Sosnovka Military Base will also get new ports. They will both contain a good amount of resources. Players will also find boats at these ports, so they can quickly travel to another location. So, keep these places in mind, because they'll make for a great landing spot. During the previous themed modes, players really enjoyed the special crates. In the new version, we'll add special supply kits to classic mode. Players will be able to find special supply kits in buildings. There are 3 types: medical, tokens, and military supplies. The resources in these supply kits are very good, so keep an eye out for them when searching. In the new version, bikes will become a staple vehicle on Erangel. In some of the more remote areas, players will find bicycle sheds. Each shed will have 4 bikes initially, and they're first come, first served. These bikes can be collapsed and put into the backpack, so they're really convenient for traveling to other locations. In addition to the sheds, players will be able to find bikes in other areas. With a bike, players no longer have to worry about being too far from the play zone. In the new Erangel, there will be flash shops. They will spawn randomly in outdoor areas. Those who find one are in for a treat, because there are tons of random discounted items. So, keep an eye out for flash shops. During matches, running out of fuel is one of the worst things that can happen while driving a vehicle. Erangel's gas stations will become functional for refueling vehicles. For the cost of just a few tokens, you'll get a full tank of gas. Find a gas station and try it out. These are the main changes in the version 2.2 update. For more details, don't forget to follow the official PUBG mobile community. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See you next time.
25 minutes. Putang ina. 25 minutes, guys. Magana muna tayo. Magana muna tayo. 25 minutes na. Konting please na lang to. Diba? Ayan. 60 pala yun. Pangat, mahal pala nun. 60 pala yan, guys. Ano ba yun natin?
Thanks for the like, Andrew Maravilla.
Sino ba yung pwede ilaro natin? Si Taki naglalaro na. Rangel. Maglilibig na muna ako isang beses. Libig. Yes. Ano pa guys? Ano pa tawag? Ang tagal pa mga Lodi. Ang tagal pa yun guys. Ano? 25 minutes. Maglalaro muna ako 1 game bago tayo mag-tournament ulit.
Thanks for the like, Ged Bironya.
Ah, Skinners, oh. Onis. Nol.
Sino?
Ito.
I got
Meron
supplies.
siya ng ano. May Squid Game. Ang character sa Squid Game.
Si ano? Ito?
Ay no. May pero po. May suit.
Ayan yung nakuha ni ano eh.
So, ano.
Ayan yung sinasabi ko sa'yo. Yung magandang skin. Kaysa ngayon, ibon.
Hindi ako magsasalita.
Salamat
Ito yung
sa share,
pinakamaganda yung
CJ Onalos.
Animation. Ayun ang follow
Thanks
sa
for
akin.
the like, Rasir.
Gago. Tara na. Ay.
Tara na! Pasali sabi ni Reyes.
Tayo. Lagdo.
May mid-stand daw kami. May mid-stand daw kami.
Ino.
Number 4, ikaw na lang balik ko. Number 4. Ay, yun ako na lumagpas ako.
Gago.
Ano mo ko labon?
Gago nakalaro mo na yan. Tatoy.
Oo, nakalaro mo na ako. Hindi pa.
Sino?
Number ano? Si Kuping.
I got supplies.
Uwe.
Number ko ting.
Ngayon lang nga ako naglaro eh.
Ayun na tayo nasabi na ano eh. Ay, iba.
Iba talaga.
Ka-accent lang.
Iba talaga ako. Supreme, pag pinilot mo yung Supreme
Sinabi.
Conqueror na ba? Supreme, pag pinilot mo ba yung Supreme na Conqueror na ba? Katapos ko na mag-Conqueror kahapon eh. Natamad ako magpapa-Conqueror guys.
Gago. Ace na kaagad.
Tapos na yung
Tara.
na-pilot ko
Thanks
kahapon.
for the
Tapos
like,
na-
Fernando Bitanga Sugu Aitan.
Bali, ano na ngayon, yung account na to. Mamaya papalitan ko na to ng pangalan. Nagamit, inaiba ko lang yung pangalan nito para hindi ako makilala eh. Ilalagay ko dito sa pangalan na Virgin si Supreme.
Thanks for the like, Alvin Domingo.
Gago.
Ay, sarat pa sa inyo mga lodi. Mamaya maglanood tayo tournament kaso 25 minutes pa yung ano. Yung delay. Yung count. Guys. Ano mo kalaban dito? Gusto tayo dito?
Gago yan.
Tayo dito guys.
Pilot nga lang daw yun. Pilot nga daw yun. Di ba pilot may account na yan?
Yan.
Hindi. Yung isa yung...
Ipapilot.
Yung isang account yung pilot. Ito,
Ipapilot.
account ko.
Ipapilot. May
Sa'yo
magpapapilot
ang account
ba
eh.
na ganyan malaki na account? Gago.
Oo.
Tumastos na malaki.
Thanks
kasi
for the like,
papapilot.
Cedric Lazo.
Dugyot.
Hindi ay papakukunin
Pero
lang.
ganun.
Meron ano yung mga
Meron ganun.
mayayaman, yung mga yayaman na taga ibang bansa nagaganon talaga. Siyempre,
Thanks
busy
for
sila
the
sa
like, Mark
trabaho.
Jason Tariman.
Busy sila sa trabaho, gusto nila makuha yung avatar. Wala silang time. So, pilot nila.
Gago kung ako yung paghihirapan ko kasi sayang.
Hindi mo naman masasabi yun kasi may trabaho ka eh. Pag may trabaho ka, hindi mo magagawa yan. Kasi tsaka pira, yung pira dun sa kanila.
Na lang ako.
Yung pira sa kanila parang ano lang yun, Lodi. Magkano sila sahod dun? Ibang bata. Tapos
Kaya.
20,000, 200, parang gano'n.
$20 nga dito, magkano na eh. Pilipinas. Hemor.
Ay, shoutout sa inyo guys. Ano, random lang ako. Hindi naman nila ako kilala eh, kaya hindi ko sasabihin ko sino ako. Random lang ako, tapos nagko-content lang ako sa TikTok. Para lang i-upload ako sa TikTok. Kasama ko, ano, babae, ano to? Kasama ko, magjuwa ata to.
Hindi.
Nyo ba?
Juwa ba kayo?
Thanks for the like, Janmar
Na all, may
Eroso.
juwa talaga. Oh.
Ah. Kailangan.
Random lang din yan, guys.
Random lang din ba siya? Ay, grabe naman. Random ka lang. Hindi ako makapayag na random lang ako. Parang walang kalaban. Walang kalaban, no? Tatago ata kalaban.
Bot labi yata to.
Hindi, ibig sabihin nandun ata sila sa ano, sa logistic, yung first drop kanina. Ano, kalaban, no?
Ito, dito, bot lang.
Hindi may tao yan, bukas na yung pinto eh.
Salamat sa follow EJ Manansola, ang sarap-sarap mo. Thanks for the like, EJ Manansola.
Watch out!
May tao doon. Wala naman sasakyan.
Gago pa tapos. Magre-recall.
Galing logistic yan. Tara. Dito na. Sugurin na natin. May pambuhay tayo. Bubuhayin tayo ni number 4. Pag namatay tayo. Bagong dating ha.
Wala yung sakit. Kulado yan. Yung sakit na helmet yan. Use this ko pa yun.
Thanks for the like, Bench
Sa dulo
Cadby.
siya. Ano sa dulo? Dito siya oh.
Watch out!
Andito. Andito sa akin, gagi.
Okay ba? Saan ba?
Kulado yan.
Tanggo mo kasi.
Broken one.
Watch out!
Ah.
Watch out! Watch out!
Pumasok na bahay. Third floor. Second floor.
Thanks for the like, look lang wrong muto.
Jump shot yan, pre! Oh! Kainin mo yan.
Low.
Gago po na assist lang. Ay, mababa ng lady ko eh.
Ibigay ko sa'yo bot. Sige. Ano time? 6 minutes.
Sa'yo pa yun, oh. 3x lang ako, kuya.
Ayan, binaba ko dyan yung 3x.
Nice,
Kita mo.
nice. Sige, thank you.
Liljan. Ay, shout out sa'yo Liljan. Shout out sa'yo Lodi. Bukas magkikita kami bukas. Abangan nyo kami. Imbuela, Papa Kentot, si Pang, si Bosti. Basta magkikita kami bukas sa Megamall. Lahat kami na streamer. Magpupod trip daw kami.
Saan yan,
Ano
kuya?
pa? Ano pa alam mo sa ano?
Thanks for the like, Clean
Supreme
Friends
Gaming.
Bagtas.
Supreme Gaming.
Supreme.
Uy, gagi,
Supreme
nakapalaw ako dyan.
Kailan search ko nga. Teka lang. Supreme Gaming.
Logistic to pre. Pag ganito, logistic yung kalaban. Ate, dito tayo ate. Wala tayong kalaban dyan eh. Dito sa may gilid. Dito banda yun oh.
Watch out!
Walang nag-drop sa mid-state.
Andun, ano? Magpaparang yan pag ganyan.
Oo. Naka-live nga ngayon.
Simbahan ata eh. Palagay ko yung kalaban, simbahan. Diba nga ata?
Wala pa ako kayo. Buwabakit ko na ito.
Dito na, guys, may simbahan.
Pagkiti na ako.
Tao yata, simbahan.
Doon nata nagbuhay yung pinatay natin. Huwag kayo magdikit-dikit kasi mamaya walang magbubuhay sa atin pag namatay tayong tatlo.
Ano na ako?
Thanks for the like, Ivan G. Banya.
Shout out kay Boss Ivan. Kala ko kalaban. Yan pala. Ito mo nga kung may tao pre.
Wala.
Wala. Ibig
Nasaan
sabihin,
to mga to?
hindi to ata sa logistic pa nga to galing. Hindi to ata, try natin dito.
Watch out!
Layo ng bilog. 15 na lang.
Nagulog.
Ba may lumalangoy.
Grabe ka naman, lalangoy. 15 na lang tayo. Wala nang lalangoy. Lagay ko, nandito lang din sila.
Watch out!
Ito na narinig na ako putok. Rekulan. Ano, number 3, punta ka na. Ay, number 1, Rekulan. Ano? Ay, nandito nga. Inalisan namin ni ate. Nagbalik sila dito.
Kabilis nyo naman dyan.
Dito na yung kalaban eh.
Nawala.
Wala o bata ng bahayan. Pre.
Dito.
Kita ko,
May
kita
ano?
ko.
Gilid. Pumesto.
Mali. Dugaos, may tao sa dugaos, sa loob ng dugaos. Kanan.
Wala to, down. Push.
May knockdown ako dyan ha.
Saan?
Dugaos.
Sa doghouse.
May knockdown ko ba? Napatay niya?
Hindi, magkampi.
I need consumables.
Ako natama nun.
Knockdown lang yun ha. Ibig ko sabihin, kasama ata nila to.
Ito. Pulado.
Knockdown pa rin din.
Ginawa ni Minwar.
Paano yung assist?
Baba. Down, insta.
Paano yung assist na lang?
Zero kills pa nga ako eh.
Ano ba yan? Kuya, bigyan mo naman.
Binibigay ko nga sa'yo, dili na nga ako magbaril eh. Kaso lang, hindi mo siya ata natatamaan.
Salamat sa share, Kazaya Causes.
Ilang points ba top 500 sabi ni Lodi? Pag sa Asia ka ata, ano
Thanks
ngayon?
for the like,
4-7.
Kazaya Causes.
4-7, Conqueror ka. Pero sa pinag-pilot ko, Middle East yun pre, 5,000.
May kalaban.
Wait lang pre.
Watch
Huwag ka
out!
muna pumuto.
Help! Marked a vehicle.
Thanks for the like, John Ronald Grip Aldea.
Watch out!
Ano wala tayo sa bilog? Magmamotor ako, magkakaliwa ako. Smoke kayo, smoke pre. Malakas yan yung kalaban. Magmamotor na ako.
Help!
Hindi ka dyan.
Thanks for
At
the like,
pumasok ka dyan,
Rodelis
mamamatay ka.
Torillo.
Help!
Tapos kayo dyan dalawa.
Watch out!
Ilan ba to? 4 ba to?
Dalawa lang yan.
Watch out! Marked a location.
May tingkol dyan sa
Hindi, may na ako. Kills muna ako. Kills pa kami.
Awesome. Awesome.
ako ng kalaban na yun.
Broken.
Hindi, sige lang. Kita
Ano
ko.
sila lahat?
Dalawa lang to. Ayan siya. Gago, may kalaban pala dun eh.
Awesome.
Gago, may kalaban pala. May katabi pala ako dun eh. Di ba, mamatay. Mamatay na lang ako, papatayin na rin kita. Dererere! Napatay ako, guys! Wala na akong panghil eh. Kailangan ko na talaga patayin, guys. Sayang hindi natin na chicken mga Lodi Lux. Pero okay lang yun. Manood na tayo ulit. Manood na tayo ulit mga Lodi. Tapos na ata. Mamaya na ako ulit laro mga idolo. 7 minutes pa? 7 minutes pa guys, 7 minutes. Tagal pa. 7 minutes eh. Time code sabi ni Boss Racer. Maya Lodi. Manonood pa ako tournament eh. Maya maglalaro ako. Pinapatapos ko muna to kung nalalaman natin sino mananalo.
Thanks for the like Reynaldo Lano Reyes Asorno.
Patay na yung dalawa. May kalaban sa taas. Laban sa taas na sa bubong ate. Ayun oh, sa labas nakita ko na. Hindi makita yung kalaban. Takina, hinagis. Takina, hinagis sa sarili. Hinagis sa sarili ang pati. Si G daw, sasama daw si G. Oh, sasama daw si G guys bukas sa sa buwa. Ay sa pala sa Megamall. Ay, tangina nangyari sa camera ko.
Thanks for the like Kin Kiefer Cardona.
Ano nangyari sa camera ko? Wala yung camera ko. Tangina nito.
Thanks for the like Satoshi Lefriket.
Kunin lang ako.
Salamat sa follow Satoshi Lefriket, ang sarap-sarap mo.
Andyan na ba? Tournament na ba? Tingnan natin tournament kaysa kung andyan na. Napakintot naglalaro. Andyan na ba? Ilang minutes na lang? 3 minutes. 3 minutes bago yung countdown mga lodi. Patay si sindikato. Tinamaan sila lahat. Ang KD natin. Tangin, baba pa ng KD ko. 467. 4 minutes mga Lodilax, 4 minutes. Sanok. Sanok si Buang naglalaro. 2 minutes bago magsimula yung third game mga idolo. Ito may problema at ang camera ko. Problema ito yung aking camera. Ay yung ano lang yung nangyari sa camera natin. Problema ito yung camera ko. Okay na. 1 minute mga Lodi, andyan na. Magsisimula na yung game. 1 minute. 1 minute, magsisimula na yung game. Tagal naman magsimula. 27 seconds. Five seconds, ayun na. Magsisimula na guys, magsisimula na. Tanggalin ko na nga lang yung camera. Ang problema yung camera ko kasi. Ayun na, okay na. Wala. Okay na, Gina. Andyan na guys. Andyan na mga lodi.
but with this, you get extra classic coupon
Ayan na.
codes
Game
and
na,
grades, and you get to collate all of it and then redeem.
Question is, what do you use that coupon for? A skin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, neon, whatever, glowy standard skin. Yeah, go catch that one out. It's available till the 31st October, but this is what's new and hopefully is what to stay here in PUBG Mobile, the brand new map called Nusa. Take a look at it. It's beautifully made. There's a Love Island. Who doesn't love Love Island? People love love. People love Love Island. Yeah.
People love to be loved in Love Island.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that. There's that. This virtual dating seems to be very popular nowadays, and I guess you can do so in the Love Island itself. And if, you come in contact with conflict, just pick up a weapon and, just seal it right there and then. So.
Yeah, just don't get knocked, like what Juju said yesterday to Sir Cloud. But
Pinisi pa rin
anyways,
yung
this
top one.
is the teams to focus on in Erangel. Again, it's still the undefeated Infinity. Why did I say undefeated? Yeah, because they are still at number 1, even though they did not progress as well in Sandhawk and Miramar. They are still at number 1 and total elimination was 60. So basically, these teams take precedence in Erangel because we know it's a back-to-back already. And most damage is to look at is a Duck, Shirty Ass, and 9 Noise.
Yeah, coming out from Bacon Time as we saw them shooting from above, but it is Duck who was prod up upon the hills over in Miramar that did the most damage, 920. And just barely breaking into the 1,000 mark here, but congratulations, 2 back-to-back.
Thanks
chicken
for
dinner
the like,
Dangdut.
Rolando
They
C.
keep
Serrano.
this Drake up onto a third and maybe take on the entirety of the day for themselves. That's all goes down in the next few matches, which will all take place in Erangel. And Erangel is by far one of the
Erangel
fairest
yung
matches
laro
of
ngayon,
them
guys.
all.
Tatlong
Would
beses
you
Erangel.
agree to that notion?
Pretty much, it's the OG map. I love this map. Everybody loves this map, including the pro players and whoever that plays PUBG Mobile. This is actually the map for us because this is where you learn what exactly it is like to play PUBG Mobile. It is a not first person, but it's a shooter game. So obviously, only one will win. Winner, chicken dinner. But you know
Yeah.
who will win is who is gonna predict this.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to win? Well, it seems like you're going the side of LGD. No?
I'm Infinity.
Really?
You're Infinity.
I
Oh
called
my
LGD?
God. Yes.
No, this
It's
thing has
like
been
that.
switched.
No.
Did you not remember?
Are you really? No,
Yeah.
I chose Infinity because before this I was.
I'm an Infinity guy.
Okay, oh my god.
To Infinity and beyond, but whatever it may be, LGD is also a strong team. Let's not discount that, right? They've got a couple of game titles under them, and they are, holding on so proudly for it. So this could be very well it. So, although you do not admit to LGD,
No.
yes, it is, Miss Jenny. It was from you. We can double check that one on the list. It is there in the prediction, and I guess we'll see how that one turns out because so far any teams that I have predicted just crash and burn in account. So I've got more of a cast a curse going on here than a blessing itself.
Yeah, I was quite close.
Yeah, many a time.
Yeah, close, but
Close.
didn't hit the target. The one that actually broke the caster's curse is actually Choo Choo.
Well,
chose
it's not
that.
here right now.
Yeah. I mean, she's in the English.
Yeah, so-
English that.
So she broke the curse and I brought it back. Ain't that something? You're welcome, man. Teams out there, you're welcome. Regions out there, you're welcome. If I haven't voted for you, it's because I think you got what it takes, and I gotta put a break on your progress. Pull you back a little bit. Have you noticed like all the teams that I voted today just went out too soon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhat. No, but
Too soon.
yeah.
Nova, Infinity,
And Tem9.
yeah.
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 Let's go,
But-
Every one of them
7
going on
seconds.
too soon, so be it as it may, maybe this next game is gonna be the ones that break the curse. If not, hey, I'll be welcome. I'm okay running my mouth.
It's Keith, not me, guys. So go and spam please. GG.
Oh
It's
yes,
the same name.
yeah. You're sending traffic my way. But of course, spend time on Jenny's IG too.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, see, she loves the attention.
I ought to be for lots of things for you, sir.
I did not understand a single language that was. 20 seconds down before we fly over onto Erangel. Oh, what is going to be the general notion walking in? Who do you think performs the best in Erangel?
9 seconds mga
Consistency.
lol.
Salamat sa follow, Jake
It's definitely
Sribancos. Ang
key.
sarap-sarap
And
mo.
honestly, in Erangel, we did see a lot of Thai teams have been quite consistent. Again, I mean, I believe in the chat, a lot of people are saying, hey, casters, you're talking a lot about Southeast Asia. Well, there's more Southeast Asia teams than the China teams. And we're not disregarding the fact that they are not performing as the China. They have been consistent. All of them have been when it comes to eliminations. But before we go into further, let's fly into the land of Erangel over from South Novska and in Mishki and Stalber.
I guess you can't blame us for talking a lot about Southeast Asia because top 5 right now, Thailand. We have to give them a little bit of credit, like more credit than some, since they take majority of the seats in the top 5 position as compared to China. But although we understand China's a strong powerhouse. Nova, come on, everybody loves the Paraboy. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the flight path from Sosnovka down to Kameshki here. A decent split down the middle. I think teams would be able to get the drop spot they'd love. Geek Fam getting kicked to the curb in this this composition of tournament or composition of teams within the lobby. No longer do they occupy Georgia Pole as they always would. They now go down onto South near over Very Clear.
Yeah, and these are the teams that will start with the lootings first. I'm sure they will have somewhat of a gentleman agreement and not to push one another. Looking into Alter Ego and also Baunam, and they will go in their respective areas. And we know that this is an Erangel where we do not want to get at too soon because it will cause a lot. We know that Erangel is a place where you can do the
Thanks
farming.
for the like, Shin
Even
Shin.
if you are going to get too soon, you can still go back in the lobby with a few eliminations. And looking at the circle today, unfortunately, Choo Choo and Circle will still not get their wish list because one of the wish lists that they wanted was a circle to be in South Novska. Unfortunately, not in our PMRC, not the first Erangel. So hopefully there will be that circle, even though yes, it's a probably people say, come on, that's a difficult circle. But yes, we do want to
Salamat
see
sa
how
share, Shin
they
Shin.
act upon that kind of circles where they have to do an early gate cape over in the bridge. And we all know after the upgrade of the bridge, it's not just the vehicles that you can go. You can walk by the bridge, and that's the reason why it became harder when it's already the upgrade version of 2.2 Erangel.
Yeah, Erangel 2.2. It seems like it's always getting updated and growing, but feels like the same Erangel to me. Can't be
Ay, sabi ni
not
Shin
that
Shin.
much. I guess I'm not as detailed and tuned in like most of these players, where even sensitivity counts to the latter, to the smallest decimal. And so, whoa, a little bit of a switcheroo here. Damrude bows out, and Sonics stepping in. So, which is weird because I believe Damrude is one of the key
Tingnan natin sino
components
mananalo.
in Geek Fam's victory over in the PMPL MYSG PH League.
But actually, Keith, Sonic's main role is actually a rusher. So basically, I think they want to go for farming this time and try to take precedence and manipulate in the elimination points. And IGL would probably be passed down to U-High. And also, we are having a substrate here, which is Manpa will always be playing in Erangel. We do know that he will take lead in that IGL when it comes to Erangel. For that, and a few of these teams, they have their own strats in applying different kind of format, or the players that might be in for different kind of maps. But honestly, right now, I'm also quite shocked as you are looking at the trade being made here by Geek. So honestly, we know how smart and very, utilized or valuable of a player Damrude is. But looking at the swap right now, I'm pretty much seeing the confidence that is being struck here upon Geek Fam.
More like changing the plan because it's not been working for at least the first few games of the day. Deciding to try something new, and I can't hate on that. I'd rather the team take a risk and try something different rather than banging on the walls and expecting things to be different.
Thanks for the like, John Lawrence Pinpin.
Defines insanity. And talking about things that can go different for you, your life or your career as a player. If you see those barcode coming up on the left-hand side of the screen, scan that one for yourself, participate in the PMC, and maybe that could be the leapfrog to
Thanks for the like, Kim Aras
full
Llorente.
esports career for you.
You're right, but you have to be over 16 years old, and it's better that if
Thanks
you're in
for
a
the
part
like,
of the
JJ Lab
institution,
Otero.
whether it's university or whatever institution that you are in, definitely this is the kind of tournament that you want to be in. And I am actually quite surprised also looking at the current lineup. Today we have not seen the appearance of Jumper. They have been using Apple, who is actually a sub for 4 Rivals. And knowing Apple, he's a very good support. And actually in Sandhawk, he's the healer, but we didn't get to see him doing the healing game because they managed to get into the center of the circle. So I think things are working pretty well for 4 Rivals, even if they did not do the sub, because yesterday when they they did the swap with Jumper and Apple, it was here and there. I'm not saying that it's totally a downfall. No, it was just trying out. But today, looking at the strats, is doing well for 4
Salamat sa
Rivals.
share, Mac Castro Nuevo Sodegar.
Well, they did get one good map. I have to give them that. I believe that was a Sanhok. And so I want to see this new Geek Fam lineup. I guess what you said is true. Damrud is great
Thanks for
with
the
firearm,
like,
but
Roy
he
Landilagan
is
Razo.
somewhat of a support, or he shoots from the back end and gets the kill secured. But if they're looking to rush on in, which we've seen time and time again, Yu-Hai does that. He likes rushing in willy-nilly by himself. I remember in Sanhok where it was him alone against all 3 members of Bantam in that compound itself. So perhaps having someone who is a rusher like Sonics could somewhat mitigate the risk of that sort of plays. And so Geek Fam coming in absolutely with a more aggressive front. Will it pay off dividends or will it bite them in the back? We can only find out.
We will
Agan?
find it out, and looking
Agan
into
mag-away.
extractions after convictions that might happen in Erangel, because the circle, we did see it's an equal circle. Like finally, Keith, the previous, 2 days before this, we did see circles that was out of this world, where it's only cornering into one angles, where it's all the way left, all the way right, and that's the kind of circle where I would say these teams, they've seen this circle before, but when they go for screams, hardly, with such great shifts, looking into the circles that have been closing in. But right now, we're seeing a scream circle where they are so used to play in such circle where it's already situated that this is where exactly it might be. And we might see a different kind of leading board today, looking at this circle that has been shown to us.
Yep, and you know what they say, be around or be square. And so if you want to be around for the PMCC, now's your chance again. Just scan that QR on the left-hand side here. And I like looking at Fair Circle. I think having the first Erangel map being a Fair Circle makes a lot of sense. It is by right the map which a lot of these teams are already accustomed for. A lot of these teams knows every nook and cranny. So it's as fair as things can get, at least strategy-wise. And so having the Fair Circle just plays into that sort of game plan as well. And so we can finally see probably a different victor here now that the circumstances has changed, or solidify again that today is a Yangon's day.
It could be, or it could be a Vietnam's day. Probably this is the time where the Xavier would probably want to say, hey, we are the king of the throne. We want to take back what's ours. And this is probably the time that they would shine. Because honestly, they are one of the teams that have been quite consistent today also. I mean, as compared to yesterday, especially yesterday's gameplay, the Xavier had too many of a times where we did see them going in the lobby quite early without elimination points. So this is probably the day that they want to get back that courage or that kind of consistency. Also, coming from Sam9, who I think they had a very good start in the first day, but they have yet to be showing that as a consistency coming throughout all the games that we've seen so far. And this is probably an awakening call for them.
Yep, and now, as we were talking about Fair Circles, that one just seemed to edge away from the general population. Actually circling again onto Boom. Boom, who, by the way, had got a good circle in the first map of today's Sanhok, and now looking like they might have circle coming their way again. It's the rest of the teams who will have to now make a shift up into the northern region, and looking down in the southern side, it is going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Absolute bloodbath indeed. Look into these rotations being made here. We're seeing teams after teams stack onto one another. LGDs by the corner, FaZe Clan, and also 4 Rivals making their way, trying to climb on the... Ooh, ouch. Accidental spray there for Apple, but I think they're going to try and make their way all the way up the hills of Stalber, or try to cordon people of this particular area. Even though it was an accidental spray, he definitely have already told the areas that, hey, there's a team here, you guys want to see us, and there you go, another one.
Matagal pa na labanan.
I don't believe in accidents. I think it's a warning shot. They're making it known that their position is right here. They're welcoming the fight if they were to look to push. And so other teams, they got the message, realize, hey, it's too soon. Too soon. You're just not worth going up against right now, and decides to just drive away. That would be LGD, but now they find themselves by the
Thanks
edge
for the like,
of the
Mag-Ellen Reno.
platform in which Boom currently occupies.
Wow, look at the boldness coming from CC. Or cute CC, not that cute of a movement. This is definitely calling out, or the war cries from CC himself. Already kind of calling off these areas. If you can see in the mini-map, they have separated 2-2. Two of them good points here. One of them managed to get to look into Nova, and the other team is looking straight into Boom. But lingering at the corners is actually Infinity, who has kind of heard the shots, and they decide, hey, we don't want to take a fight just yet. Maybe let's go into a proper position and we can do a spray, and definitely already knowing that it's a team there. There you go, Booms. Hexas trying to take advantage of LGD, who's trying to make a rotation, getting the shots over, but not enough to bring him down.
Boom Esports revealed their location already. That confirms the suspicion. I think LGD was also just scouting out, trying to see if that compound was up for the taking. After finding out that gunshot was there, they will decide to instead book their next exit away from them. But do Infinity look to push though? Because they seem to be creeping closer within the area, and Boom has got to be careful because only 2 members left getting shot. That's one member of Boom immediately goes in for the push. It's Infinity with 2 vehicles. Just drive straight on in. He's going for the pickup. That's going to probably bite them in the back here, but he loses the trade 1v1. And that will be history. Boom Esports loses to member. Infinity holds the compound.
Wow, that's a quick call off for third party. Infinity definitely got that information actually from LGD coming towards Boom, but that was a quick action immediately. Less than 5 minutes, they decide to attempt a fire, manage to get one, and immediately pushes on towards compound. So probably that's the reason why they are very consistent when it comes to Infinity. The push, the timing, and at the same time the aggression that they are playing in. I mean, as compared to a few teams who probably tried and they did not go into the fight. That's probably why Infinity has been farming a lot of elimination points. The first attempt, when it hits, they go for it.
And go for it, they shall. You know what they say, fortune favors the bold, and Infinity, they do not shy back when it comes to these team compound engagement fights. But it is LGD who ran away in what seemed to be a winnable battle. They had no idea how many members were there, but they tried to play it safe. Finds themselves in between so many other teams. Meanwhile, talking about getting spot out, Geek Fam, Sonics already getting shot, getting love tapped by GD.
Yep, and that's probably the first few rotation fights we're looking into, and probably going to look into more. Looking into the mini-map right now, we are seeing about 5 teams that is currently stuck with one another, and finally getting one confirmed here, and that is not by 4 rivals, guys. It's from Boom towards LGD, so it's really coming from different angles. They are pretty much very close to one another. 4 rivals trying, or let's say they are quite desperate to look into areas where they can get a target in, even though their praise is pretty much prime right now. It's right smack in the center. And now looking into the other side of the screen, we're looking to Eagles, who might just do a push right into Yangon Galacticos.
Yeah, and they have already knocked out 2. They might knock out even more. Yangon, they're out in the open. They realize that they can't play by the edge no longer. Not in this circle. They can't. Immediately have to sacrifice the 2 members, find a better rotation in, and now Yangon has been getting away with all these late game circles, these late game rotations in, with 4 members still left alive. Now only with 2.
Only with 2, and Yangon Galacticos, like what Keith mentioned, they have to do a late rotation because this is something that they are not used to, and hence they will try to come out a little bit for the perimeters, knowing that they only have 2 left. But GDGID, already knowing the fact there are sprays going on at the back, they are trying to go into somewhere else where they can do a little bit of the reset, at the same time getting information. Now looking into Gig, now this is something different that they are doing now. They are not taking the vantage points. Though Sonic is somewhere, I would say a bit of the vantage, but not pretty much to see everybody else, but probably to see 1 or 2 threats here and along the way. Mika has already strike open on towards the vehicles that he spotted over in the compound, but no available teams that will come out here to go into his target.
Geek Fam though, they've got eyes onto Banam. Doesn't seem to clip onto anything, but they are pretty much spread out. Would come in with the crossfire if they're looking for trouble here. Meanwhile, Bacon Time takes some member of the Infinity out in the process. Still on their knees, still very well recoverable, but they are currently, both of those teams, Bacon and Infinity, tanking in the blue, so it's probably not the best of fights to take.
The best of fights, but what happened to Mila? Yeah, probably because of the shots of coming into Bacon Time, having a little bit on the higher leverage to look into opponents that is coming from the bottom portion of the current circle. And yep, they are currently guarding the top. Even though the circle is not on them, they are looking into rotations and seeing which one that they can pick on to. Like now they are looking into Nova, who's making their ways across the areas of Jogopol. And now looking into the target, this is the right time to shoot. And there you go, sprays over. Will that hit the ground? And it will just hit the vehicle for now, not hitting on towards the damaged players at all.
Actually, the car seems fine.
Yeah.
It's not even like catching on smokes or fire, but now Bacon Time, a little bit of a dishamble here as they collide onto each other. Now making a move down onto the foothills. Meanwhile, LGD gets taken out by the Axe members within the area. LGD, they flee away from what seemed to be a boom compound and find themselves surrounded with the rest of the teams within this battlefield. And now Nova just joined in on the equation.
Yep, there you go, the equation here where there's more than one team. We can see the overpopulation of teams coming into the areas of Yasenaya. Something is telling me that the circle might just close in into a compound circle, where I honestly hate circles in compounds because it's really a lot of steps. It's so hard to
Thanks
see
for
that
the
who
like
might
and
take the
Ivor
lead here.
Alpasan.
And we know that compound fights is something like, you know, a TDM. But looking into this TDM, I don't want to be part of it because it's definitely pros after pros. But again, a lot of these teams coming all the way down from the vantage point, and again, they are just going to wait for one another to linger out. And a whole lot of throwables would definitely be utilized in this area.
Yeah, they have to indeed. Looking at how saturated this map is, would be the best option right now to flush people out of the compounds that they're currently playing within. Yasenaya Pollyanna, a very dense location. Frozen, finally getting thawed, finally getting the heat up. Aggressive movement forward. Shoots onto Gartuni, prevents him from taking it out, and it is Envy Nova who comes in to secure the kill.
They gotta be careful. Can't overpick this time. But Nuzi going on the push towards Yangon. Again, this guy, he is the man. He do not need a squad sometimes. He can act on his own and be able to carry the clutch. Yesterday we did see how he beautifully clutched a team, and true enough, right now, even though there is still 16 teams in the lobby, he's pushing all by himself, throwing grenades, and he did hit Marnet a little bit, tanking off the damage. Nuzi still okay with his life, now deploying a smoke here. At the same time, he is still working on his own, though on the other hand, FaZe has already brought Appy on his knees. Will this be the time that 4Rebels will do a push? But honestly, right now, they are being targeted by two teams.
Well, they have to address Bacon. Surely it's an easy push into the downhill against FaZe Clan, but they cannot, you know, take too long of a time. Otherwise, both teams will kind of creep their way onto them, put them in a bad situation because they are sandwiched right now. Look at that. FaZe recovered. Immediately goes into the compound, secures the kill, takes over this little hut or little abandoned house here. Looks at Banam, actually. Maybe they might just peek out a bit, gets punished. But we'll see how Voki tries to play this one out against Bacon Time, who is priming up a nade. He's going to toss one forward.
Thanks for the like, Jeremy Molina.
That's a story to tell from another chapter.
Yeah, another chapter indeed. Nova is right now pressing and
thanks
putting
for the like,
pressure
Yan
on towards
Honolario.
SMG. They know the arrival here already. Now they're going to try and find one another in the third level. But here we go, CQCs. Volke drop on that one for with Bacon Time, and he will definitely go down. Now Pumburu is the next one to go in neck on neck with Bacon Time. They are pushing great right now. And the trouble has been tossed in. Pumburu still throwing on towards grenades. Yeah, he has to be careful. DBS is armed with him. And now doing the CQC, but that's it. Apple goes back now, leaving Pumburu. He has to go and hunt for more, but it's just too much for him. He's cornered in the angle, and already knowing exactly where he is, he will go down. Back in lobby, number 15 for Rivals.
Yeah, and the fight's not over yet. SMG, already one member being traded out here. It is Paraboy. He gets the knockdown. Might even look for more, but they're going in with the revive. Can Nade be primed up forward? FaZe Clan still not down just yet. Going up against Bantam now. Pushing into the likes of them Infinity. Up against LGD. Fights going across everywhere around these maps. They're playing block wars at this point. Trying to trade one member after another. Now it's going time for LGD as they got enough members down to be confidently pushing in. Recognizing that it is only Logan. But Logan wins off on the trade, tries to go in for the flank side. It is LGD who takes them out.
LGD already know exactly what to do here. They still have three. Oh no, you know what? They got 3 men back in the lobby already. Now leaving only with 1. This is going to be the survival stage for them. But now getting knocked from another angle. Now this is really looking into a compound circle. Again, people are just looking into areas where they can probably see opponents right now. Bacon Time already knowing exactly where Bao is.
Thanks for the light, Jen Dukai.
He's being knocked here right now. Nowhere to go, but go into the buggy and immediately wanting to get off, but not enough time. Grenade has been prepped, and you know what? Back to the lobby for Baonang.
Banam United, everyone, this team right here, we're looking at BAC, Bacon Time. They may be food, but it seems like they're the ones eating everyone in the lobby. They're taking them down one after another. Already 5 kills, still 3 members left to play. Even the likes of Nova is struggling to keep themselves in this game. It's a high-intensity one. LGD coming in next with the 5 kills to match, but they also lost 3 members already. So Bacon Time just looking like an absolute beast at this point.
Yeah, definitely looking like an absolute beast, but something is working well for Geek Fam. Somehow the trade works, and they are currently picking points along the way in the compounds, getting in the apartment, one of the tallest buildings right now in Yasanaya. But looking into Bacon Time, still not ending with the battles here. Now looking into GDGID straight, tapping on towards them as Blues comes in, and they have to get into the circle currently because it has shifted, and people who is currently in the compound is Nova and SMG. But you know what? The odds, each of them are only 1 player for the team.
You want to know what's good though? Geek Fam, they're the ones playing from the outside in. This time around, they might have to go up against Genesis Dogma. But if they can weather the storm, this could be a breath of fresh air, actually, for the likes of the Geeks here. It's about time they leave their mother's basement, get a little bit of fresh air, turn things onto their favor, especially with the new composition that they're running within Erangel, the first Erangel of the day. We'll see how they play this one out. Meanwhile, Bacon Time finds themselves on the sniper's nest. Has got scopes as well. They can play the open fields.
Play the open field definitely, but Sonic's eating a little bit of the Blues here. They gotta be ready with the plan B, because right now in front of them there's no vantage point, and we all know clearly Geek Fam works very well with a little bit of vantage, but right now they are all flat in no man's land. But no cooking a nade here. Boom managed to get some damage over to LGD, again being the only player for his team right now. Will try to exchange throwables on which one will go down first. Jump, doing that jump punch, trying to hide that movement, but I think Okta will already have a clue exactly to where the player might be right now. Again, we are looking to a 1v1 situation.
Well, he's primed up the throwables. He's got the nade. Surely he's got an idea on where the members of Boom might be. Tries to bounce it off the wall. Catches onto no one. So he might even try his luck on a different window here. Fortunate enough for Boom himself. But Sam9 now up against SMG. SMG, only 1 member left. But can he trade this one off in a 1v1 trade? He does. Does he confirm it? No, he does not. And falls down is SMG. Moving under gunfire no more as they get themselves out of the lobby. And LGD will try to prime it against Boom. But Boom comes out clean on top.
LGD no more. Boom will take over the compound. The question is, will he be in the circle or will he still be outside? Looking at things, I think he get a little bit of that circle. Now Geek Fam, again, this is not a place where they are having the masters on them. This is a flat land, no man's land. Again, trying to look into that vantage point just a little bit more to farm a bit of that farming, but not going to get any because they can't see anybody with that red dot within the reach of where they are right now. But Alter Ego though, trying to bring them down through exchanging throwables. Bacon Time seeing other teams that is currently outside in no man's land.
Bacon Time, they are the tempo dictators at this point. They see all. They're just sniping from the above, and Sam9 doing the same thing. GD losing a
Thanks
member
for the
with
like,
those taps
Jesse
coming in
Betang.
from Butra.
Wala na
It's
yung bilog.
pixel perfect as he takes a member down, but Adips gets traded in the process from the B line. We'll have to address.
Yeah, and now as the heat gets
siguro yung camera dito ko na
heatier or hotter, a lot of these teams are using the compounds as a leverage. But how long can that last? Because all of the teams that is currently in no man's land, they are taking
Thanks
control
for the
of
like,
it,
MR
trying to
Vince
hide
DF.
one another away before the great fight happens. If, yeah, there you go, the circle has shown itself and it's on a cover nothing, not even a single compound we're talking about here. Everybody has to come out and play, especially people or teams that are currently in the apartments. There's going to be a huge skirmish right after this.
But look at Bacon Time. They
Ito
still
pa yung sabi ni
by
Boss
the edge.
Alvarez.
They can stay a little bit longer if they want to. Play with whatever little compounds they have for the time being. But all the ego now going on for the push side up against Geek Fam. Geek Fam has to weather the storm, but they're dropping like fives. That is Micah OP immediately. Alter Ego moving in. All but none left alive here as Alter Ego will wipe out the entirety of Geek Fam.
Looking to order, taking control of things and now trying to hide on towards one another. But Lamborghini is going to do a CQC right now, right in front of Order. How he actually flagged that out. That's the reason why Order is a player that we don't want to mess with. He is so on point when it comes to CQCs here. But looking into eyes from the distance, having the eyes from the distance. And you know what? One after another goes down. Again, these are the people from the compounds.
Law and order. That's exactly what he did.
Ito yung load ba man na-
Nailed that one down. He dictates the rules on who gets to live and who does not. He is what was that? The executioner himself. Yeah, he dictates. Meanwhile, Sam9 though, right next to Order. He's about one man. That's a plus side, I guess, for Sam9, but this one man is no man, he's a machine. So if they were to try and do something funny, Bacon Time is also in the prime position to come in and pick you off. He's got to remember that.
Yeah, he definitely needs to remember that one. Trying to cook a nade, and he's tanking a little bit of the damage. I think Putra has already known exactly where he is. Trying to do a little bit of the flanking here. Throwing trouble still. Trying to bring down one man Order. It's like as though he's there trying to bring down the entire squad. Now Order is trying to do the exchange of trouble. Still, he has 4 grenades left, guys. He has all day to play with all the troubles, but they have hurt him. He knows exactly where he is now. Looking at his point, I think it's the disadvantage because of that molly that was being prepped smartly by Sam9.
That was an interesting play there. Nevertheless, a great one from Sam9. 5 kills and still 4
25 kay Dan
members
Jorens. Maraming
left to
salamat
play
sa
the
25
field.
star.
Looking like they have a chance at a chicken dinner. One for the Malaysian team for the day. And they are by far the most performing
Ganong
Malaysian
laban.
team, if I'm not mistaken. No, was it 4 rivals? It was 4 rivals, yeah. They're not doing not too bad themselves. They have quite of the highlight in day number 1.
Nag-send ng star si
This
Dan
might
Jorens
be them
Espinosa.
back in that trajectory. They're holding that flag up high. Meanwhile, Genesis Dogma still here. Thorn in the bush. Bacon Time cannot look to make any sort of aggressive plays, not without getting
Thanks
punished.
for the like, Aldrin Dantes.
Same goes to the Sam9.
He definitely needs to get ready that wall of smoke in order for them to all of these teams to cross into the current circle where we all know is right smack in the center, no man's land, a flat terrain indeed. And all they gotta do is just prone, exactly what Aum is doing right now. He is proning, playing a little bit of the terrains, but the team that has the most prestige position right now, I would say, is GDGID. They got a little bit of the cleave to play with, and they are still not being spotted. They got a shed, and it's not going to be easy for these teams to reach upon them. And looking to Sam9, has already lost 3 members just because of getting contacted at the right timing, and now Manpa has to go out by himself.
GDGI right now has got to focus on the Bacon Time though, so this might put them into a tower situation because the fire did
Lalaro
come
ka ba
up from
pag
their
natapos
end.
yan, sabi
So
nila?
Bacon Time will
Mamaya
have their
pa daw din
eyes
meron
on
pa to 2
GD.
games eh.
Same goes with Sam9
2
looking
games
at
pa, tapos
GD as
maglalaro
well.
ako
So
nila.
they now find themselves 1 versus 2
Hinihintay ko muna kung sino mananalo
because they decided to reveal
Hinihintay ko
their
si idol
location
ko eh.
and now who's
Yung
going to
idol ko
get them
magpag-
first? Will GD hold their ground here or will they falter to the likes of the 2 and going out at the 3rd place?
It's all about the timing, guys. We all know GDGID. They will not leave this particular place that they have. It's such a good place to be. Look at the terrain that they can play with. They have a little bit of that leverage, you know, to play with the terrains. There's a little bit of the regions you're talking about. But look into Bacon time. The confidence after one haystack after another. They know exactly what to do. Prone and then use the leverage that they can have from the distance. But Alan here trying to do a random spray from the distance, knowing that Manpa has been trying to hit on that from that long distance, but he's already have gotten over that wall, so it's going to be a lot of this not getting compromised in by the positions. And we all know it's all about proning, and a few of these teams will try to get information by jumping behind the haystack.
Yeah, they're just covered with haystacks right now, or wheat fields. All these brown, and you just need to spot the green snake within the bush. But none of these teams are budging or giving the chance, the opportunity to get shot out and bow out too soon though. However, Bacon time, they're turning their backs onto GD and immediately gets punished. It's Alm style. Knocked out in the grass itself, gets picked out here. None of that parasites in the crop fields. And so Genesis now finds a leg up against Bacon time themselves, and they're taking more members down as they've got the general direction all locked out and centered, and Manparang to go out with. That is
Thanks
7-9
for the
down.
like,
So
Caitlin Layo
Bacon
is the
time
loser.
secures the second spot. Surely they cannot push against Genesis, who's got all the manpower in the world. They're shooting that one out, and it is unstoppable with a 10 elimination streak onto the side of Genesis Dogma.
Wow, what a gameplay that was, because we did see how Alan kind of spotted out Manpa, and that is not by the size, by his game instinct. And actually, Alan won for SEA Games, the solo player. He won for Indonesia. So definitely a lot of skills coming from an Alan. Because of him, it kind of gave GDGID that lead start in getting that chicken dinner when we did see there was 3 teams left.
Insane plays. They were patient. It seemed like if they would have, shoot and play on the aggro way too soon, that they wouldn't have ended up in the top 3 finish. Rather not even a top 1 finish, right? But they played it very patiently. They took fights that were unnecessary, and they allowed the things to play out and let teams take each other out before they had to even crawl their way into the circle, and perfectly played out with this match alone. So the streak for Young Good Galacticos has been broken. But man, it is great to see a new victor, a new chicken dinner up on the screen.
Yeah, definitely, and it takes a lot of patience, like what Keith mentioned. You know, they got themselves the position. There's not a need for them to push. They did not push at all. They just played by the timing, by the zones. They keep getting the circles, and all they gotta do is just come out to play and push when it is coming towards the right time. And we did see that happening over to GDGID, even though they were pressured along before that. But looking into this, SMG being taken control by SM9 again. Teams are trying to push each other in the compounds because the circle was closing in towards the compound area, and we know there was a great number of teams that was coming towards the compound areas as compared to the teams that is currently outside.
Yeah, look at that. Every single time you see GD, you see them being pressured in the map. They definitely did not have the easiest of times here, despite them already getting 5 kills when we were looking at them. That means they have been doing damage.
Mamaya maglalaro na din ako mamaya. Nintay ko lang to, 2 game pa. Tagal pa yan guys, matagal pa. Idol ko kasi yung pinapanood ko eh. Makuha lang ako ng technique doon. Pinapanood ko kung paano yung rotation nila. Mag-ano kasi ako, magbabago na ako ng rotation pag naglaro. Kailangan na astig na tayo mag-rotation. May ranggel to mga buang. Si Panot, ito sino Panot to Dusa. Saan usa sila naglalaro? Saan usa sila? Palagbag kay Supreme, sabi ni Caitlin. Wala pa nga eh. Hi Caitlin, what's up? Ano usa sila naglalaro?
Thanks for the like, Rico R. Sanchez Jr. Thanks for the like, Nisnisan Mark.
Saan ba ito ate? Grabe naman yung ping 147. Kalaban sa kabila. Kalaban na sa puno. Nakadapa. Tagal naman ng ano. Tagal naman ng finals.
Thanks for the like Romuald Stanislaus.
Ah. Ang ina pinarking ka talaga. Kang ina. Naparking ka ta. Pero analog, hindi mag-analog ako tournament. Ayun na, may tournament na. Ito na guys, tournament na.
Thanks for the like Mike Jaman. Thanks for the like John Lee Renoco. Thanks for the like Earl Aldis Hernal.
Tagal. Bilisan nyo na guys, manonood na tayo ng final oh.
Thanks for the like Paulo Mesias.
Wala na. Tagal naman. Yung commentator na to, i-start nyo na pag ayaw mag-iba. Ay! Tagal? Magsimula ka na?
Thanks for the like Marvin Pakdaan Rolloda. Salamat sa follow Marvin Pakdaan Rolloda, ang sarap-sarap mo.
Maya.
Thanks for the like Frank Aaron Prado.
Ayan na guys, 59 seconds. One minute, 1 seconds. Iranggal na ulit guys. 70 na. Malapit na mahabol. Ay, yung beacon na. Una na yung beacon. Last na sindikato, sabi niya. Dito, 2 games pa to. 2 games pa. Titignan natin kung sino magnanalo. Pero nangunguna yung nangunguna yung Thailand, pangalawa China. Tapos pangatlo Thailand ulit. Yung Geek top 10 na. Sali ka ba dyan, sabi niya. Bawal yung iPad dyan, Lodi. Puro cellphone lahat yan. Saan magagaling kasali dyan? Mga pro player yung mga kasali dyan. Nanonood lang naman ako, kumukuha lang ako ng technique. Antok na ako. Ayan na, sinugod na. Tulog na ata si Lodi. Hindi pa. Tapusin ko pa to. Wala yung sound.
Doing rotations as early as 7 minutes, guys. The first circle already moving from one place to another. BN will move out from Novo Repno and make their way into the mainland of Erangel. And now looking into the circles, it's still almost the same as the previous one, just that leaving out the options of getting into the portion on the northern
BN.
side of Erangel, where there is more vantage point as compared to earlier.
I like how you pronounce Nova Repno, yeah. Nearly sounded like and yet if it was Australian, it would have sounded something different, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Nova Rep, nah, yeah. Oh, that was so bad. Can't believe I cracked that one out.
No.
Nah, yeah, nah.
I got you, mate. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Let's move on. I do not want to be reminded of the bad jokes I make online.
But yeah, I kind of like how... Okay, you know what? There you go. Influence of their accent. But no, Jenny. I'm not going to go into Australian now. But now looking into SMG, they are trying to tap onto a team that they've seen from a distance. I'm not quite sure exactly who, but it seems like it is Infinity. But bro, that is way far. At least about... Whoa, looking to 400 meters here. How in the world they can tap onto that? But yeah, SMG is one of the teams that probably
Thanks for the
desperately
like, Jacob
needs to
Bolena.
get back on top. I mean, they got themselves a good start of the day with the show match.
Oh,
And
game
the
circle. Oh, it's the same thing.
Is this the rematch?
Nah, it feels almost like it. I mean, they have more compounds now
Yeah.
compared to Barren Lands as they were in the previous one. Already gunshots have been fired at the SEM9 against GD, the previous chicken dinner winners. And they will just find their way out of sight, out of mind. No casualty in the process. Still 16 teams to play the lobby.
With DP arm 4 times, trying to spray away. Putra managed to get a good damage out of the player, but not going to get any knocks from that. Now FaZe taking control of School and Nova. Here, Order trying to spray on towards FaZe Clan. And you know what? Geek is just on top of them, so they got to get ready for this. If it going to get a third party, this is not the time. There you go, already third party indeed. And this is coming from Yuhai, who decided to stop for a while and decided to spray on them. Got a hit marker, but both of them decide to separate on the way to a better place to be. And it seems going to be a good call here, at least for Nova, because they got a little bit of the shade to cover themselves from
Nalaban natin yung
Geek.
Geek eh.
Geekfam's not done just yet though, and same that goes with Nova. Nova Repnoya got the best of me. And Yuhai now shooting on the side of Nova himself onto FaZe Clan, but they're taking a bunch of shot back. An Order taken out on his knees. It is one from Beer 11 from the far side. MR5 now tossed in smokes, trying to go in with the revive. Nova now coming in with the pickup. But where are the rest of the teams of Nova to try and defend the likes of They are outnumbered and outgunned. It seems like the rest of Geek Fam, who now closes upon the duo. That's Frozen and Order will now go out in the order respectively.
Yeah.
Spray them down, nose on the coffin. At least you've got a buddy back in the
Sila
lobby.
umalis dun eh.
Thanks
Don't
for
worry.
the like, Romer
I'm
Tijano.
sure they are pretty much angry now, leaving only 2 players of Nova, which is actually, I think it's going to be Jimmy and Paraboy alone here. Yep, there you go. They are over in the areas of School trying to do a rotation, but they managed somewhat, played. They are usually doing this by a pair, and we're having the other pair who managed to stay alive, so they're going to try and take control of this huge compound. Talking about entry points and exit, there's too many when you want to talk about School itself. But on the other hand, looking into Dap here, I'm not sure why he's still lingering right outside. Okay, so probably he was just trying to adjust something, and that was pretty dangerous because we did see Alter Ego somewhere on top. But boom, you're trying to do a TPP, looking into where BN might go. He knows exactly there was rotation being made here. Probably the scouter that he is going to get information first, and probably will try to do that late game play and give them a surprise a little bit later.
Yeah, he was standing right awkwardly in the open. It seemed like they would have just shot him down if they got them the chances. Peek him out here. Fortunately for him, he will live to tell another day here. Meanwhile, circle closed on into a more denser part of town, evenly spread out at the very least. Plenty of compounds to be played around with. A lot of natural grooves within the map in which they can turn into their leverage. So I guess we kind of got like the fair fight that we've wanted, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Thanks
it is
for the like,
definitely a
Rads
scream
Miasola.
circle. Everybody is so used to this circle at least. It's going to be a harder wrangle, at least for this round, where a lot of these teams will know exactly where to be, where to go, picking awkward areas, and it's going to be out of reach for some of these teams. We'll be getting themselves a bit of a tanker, but boom, coming right smack in the center with a boom explosion immediately. Not enough time to get that reset here, but I think Reezy knows exactly what's about to happen. This is the team that actually waited for Bound now. No, they got the information. They're going to take them by surprise, and true enough, though they managed to get one, it's not a good trade because one of them went down immediately. Now the rest of the boom needs to get ready before Sam9 comes in.
Well, they're going in for the push though. Boom immediately tries to go in with the beeline. Spots one out, gets knocked out despite the tag team duo. That drive-by did not pan out the way they hoped things would be. And now Banam can actually just go in with the pickup, but not if they're throwing bodies as such. 3 members down from Banam, only 1 member left.
Yeah, but now third party here we go. Sam9 as we speak around the corners. They know the fight that's about to happen. And getting tapped here. Dap is taking control over things here. He's going to take over 2 teams at the same time now. Looking, interacting, not exactly sure where he wants to be. But there you go, the entire team. Unfortunately, they wanted to surprise Bao now. But I don't know what happened. There was a miscom somehow.
Yeah, DX can now look to dig into the bowl here if they were pay a little bit more attention. The smokes, they know that they're still generally in this area. Takes 1 member down, the rest to follow down with, and then with that clash, that collision. Now this is why it's called the regional clash, because they don't care. They just jump straight at you. You saw that car, brakes did not hold it back.
That was a car hit shot. It was right on the head, man. Oh my god, that was epic. But anyways, there you go. D Xavier taking advantage over towards other disadvantages now. Looking to 9 Noise, the previous 9 MVP, striking on towards Sam9, getting a very good place to be in the current circle. This is actually a very good place to be where you get information, you get to farm. But I think D Xavier will get enough time to reset in this. There's a lot of crates for them to loot, honestly.
They will try to loot that right now. Cooling off from that sort of stunt, man. Now Alter Ego has got to go up against GD. I believe he might have saw a little bit of a hit being popped out here. GD might have gotten an info as well, because the way they're pathing through seems to be very, very conservative. Not even showing a little bit too much hit or so. But it will drive away from the circle zone. I mean, away from the blue zone. Make their way within the circle and just reset the fight from there. I think GD, hold that thought, SMG now against 4 Rivals. 4 Rivals gets the entry onto them. Remember, a friendly grenade onto Abby himself.
Oh no, that wasn't planned at least. And this is supposed to be a takeover for 4 Rivals. Now Voki has to plan this well, because there could be third party any moment now. They got to get their man up there on the feet. But looking into this, looking to Apple and Voki left, having to tank everything else. Remember, he's just here guarding on towards Appy, who's currently on his knees. And SMG wants to win this fight versus 4 Rivals, but both of them are on the reset mode. They're not going to come into each other. And this is going to take a while, because it might come into third parties here. They're right smack in the center. It's calling out all these other teams to look into them. And Voki and Apple won't budge.
What seemed to be a very, very good intro for them now just seemed pretty sour in the process here. Now losing more so than they thought they would have gained. Still in a deficit trade at that point. Meanwhile, Infinity and FaZe will have to face each other. Sam9 and Alter Ego will have D Xavier to handle with as well. Meanwhile, it is Eagle Esports now playing from the outside in.
Yes, yeah. We're looking into bacon time here, lurking into people's contentions and fights along the way. That's probably the reason why 4 Rivals and Team SMG couldn't budge, because they are getting tanked by other parts also in the damage. But LGD here, MVM, trying to put in some towards GDGID, who is currently proning with a whole lot of smokes around them. They are in the open. They are pretty stuck here in front of Nova, and they're getting shots from LGD at the same time. They're pretty much squished inside. But looking into these 2 teams, they're not going to budge at all. At all.
And sometimes that is the better strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't move a muscle.
Oh,
Everyone's not moving a muscle, actually.
I know, right? I mean...
Wait, is that a thing? Or are we... Are we looking at something that's wrong here now?
I think probably the both of them wants points. And looking into 4 rival, they are neck and neck with Gig. It's like almost, I mean, they are from the same country. Probably they had a bad game before this. They want to come up better. And now we already lost 2 men. So, yeah. And looking to SMG, they are currently at the bottom tier. So, obviously, they want points. And the 2 of them are like, hey.
Let's not move a muscle.
You move first.
You go ahead. Please take on the advantage. But meanwhile, First Movers does get an advantage here as already they're taking out members of SAM9. That's Putra taken out in that advancement alone. Now does his brothers look to avenge his very soul, or maybe not even necessary, as Vengeance are up to get his entire squad. SAM9 has to book a ticket to get the heck out of there.
Yeah, trying to get the heck out of here. They had a good game before this, and they definitely want to go for another one. Unfortunately, they started with Manpa back in the lobby, and now they're being sprayed over different angles. Look at how they're driving super YOLO right now. I mean, they're going to be targeted from different angles here, at least. And Geek Fam is the next one who will spray towards Harm, and he will get fired. Oh, no, he will survive by the shed here, but it's not going to be a good place to be in. All of them are at the perimeters right now, and Apple and looking into Pamburu or someone. Oh, no, it's Volky. I think they are deciding to go elsewhere. It seems like that. But anyways, a lot of these teams are still currently in the circle. And we're looking into another crasher. Yangon Galacticos versus LGD.
LGD definitely gunning them down here, as well as Nova. Looking like they're getting kill streaks up across the board, but it is Yangon who's had 2 good games today, now seemingly out of momentum to push on forward. More dropping out like flies, but it is the Xavier. Again, the team that I voted out too soon at 14th place. Sorry for the curse. It's just one of my own. Meanwhile, Beer 11, pulling the pin but not throwing in the nade, gets blown up on himself.
And dominating is the Savior from another angle, gunning down teams that is along the way here, and managed to get a few strikes. Infinity managed to see Geek Fam somehow by rotations, but Return Fire immediately snipes with that motion in hand, and that's exactly what his role is, a sniper in hand. But Logan trying to farm onto Facelet. 2 of their men is trying to prone inside, or at least crawl in, being knocked somewhere. But a lot of these teams right now trying to crash onto one another because it's already the 5th circle, and it's not going to look good for a lot of them, because you look at where the circle is. It is going to be right smack in the center with very, very low compound areas. Now Marnet will try to gun down, or at least cook a grenade for Mika. And Apple goes back into the lobby. I'm not so sure if they are still alive, but shots are fired from another angle. Oh my god.
Marne survive against the rest of Geek Fam, being the only member from Yangon Galacticos. That was great play, and I think he lobbed that nade, bounced it off a little
Salamat sa
corner,
follow,
and
Sarf
bounced off
Eris
Mika.
Ahmad.
Mika
Ang
took a
sarap-sarap
heavy
mo.
hit, and a few bullets from the far angle conceals them into the coffin itself, in the graves, into the lobby they go. So that was great plays coming out from Yangon Galacticos. Definitely doesn't look much on paper, but in that situation, that's what you take what you can get.
Yeah, definitely trying to take it in. But also taking it in right now is actually Infinity. They are building up those wall of smokes. Ooh, but Logan being spotted here. But just by an inch bit, that terrain helped Infinity to crawl over to SAM9. And there you go, Mila striking off the first one. And will try to take down the entire SAM9, who's currently on the buggy. And that did not work for them, because they are going to go back to the lobby. But just immediately, LGD takes control of someone's advantage and immediately take it as a total disadvantage for them. One by one goes down, but they still are alive with that smoke, wall of smoke in the shed.
LGD 4 kills already. Still 4 members strong. Infinity has the 5, but only down with a single member. Unless he can go in with the pickup, he does. And it's LGD who's got eyes onto them. So Infinity again finding themselves pincered in positions they know not how to play out from. Immediately, there we go. Taps and taps. Go on the other side of Infinity. They may be called Infinity, but this is looking like the end of the entire squad as they get booted out into the lobby. 9th place although they did have 5 eliminations.
Yep, and now slowly building up the circle, heavily concentrated, again in awkward places. This is again no man's land, not many vantage points as we can see here. A lot of people are just holding on by compounds, just hiding on towards areas where there are small defense mechanism that they can use, like little grounds, terrains that they are able to use. But Marnet trying to still stay alive here, even though LGD is pushing, but that DBS make that knock here. He is tanking a little bit of the damage also. I'm not so sure if that is going to be enough time. The space has gone in with the Vector back into the lobby for Marnet.
Wow, Marnet, he's held off long enough for Young Gun Galacticus. It's the best out of the worst situations ever, so he'll have to be happy with that. Come in content, maybe do better in the next round, but still up in plays. It's Nova, Bacon time again. Eagle Esports, LGD, 4 rivals, Alter Ego, and Team SMG.
Yep, it's all about who will make the first move first. Again, a lot of these teams are just holding on to areas where they can get a little bit of that defense, where they can hide, not over-compromising positions. Exactly what Forevers is doing. They are right smack in the center. And two Eagles here trying to make something smart, playing by the shorelines. And they definitely have a place to reset, though it might be a problem for them to come into the circle later on. They have to definitely extract the opponents right in front, which is LGD, and also Bacon time lingering over the corners.
Yeah, I feel like Eagle Esports right now, they've been pretty silent as Eagles, but it's about time that they leave their nests and learn how to be the predators that they are. Swimming in water, that's Namshin trying to find a flank side into this entire battlefield, creeping closer towards the center, but they have to be careful because Bacon time, they have eyes across the valleys, and any overstepping will get punished. 4 rivals finds themselves in sticky situation, but the fight will prevail here onto LGD versus Eagle Esports.
We're looking to 7 teams left in the lobby, and that first one will go into a Kobe mode for Eagles. The next one will hit again. Namshin trying to get a little bit of that leverage, but he gets tanked a little bit more, and LGD immediately pushes. Oh my god, this is going crazy. They are so hungry for some form of eliminations here. One by one goes down like a domino, and then you go, here we go again. They're still on the hunt, but still looking to a trade here, but the trade is coming off well. Namshin trying to tank a little bit. Now LGD gonna go head to head. Now who gonna get Still first, but he goes down next. Now one more to go. It's a 1v1 situation for Sukik, and he will try to do a revival just to do the reset.
Well, they've got the nades and the Molotovs right there just to discourage any sort of overcommittal, but it is LGD that gets taken out because Bacon time was in the area, and it's time for them to feast, and feast they shall as they try and get more pointers onto their name. LGD, they did pretty formidable themselves, but have to find their way into the lobby. It's time to make way for Bacon time.
Bacon time always striking up first, and it has been quite a consistent today's battle. We did see them always approaching or, trying to poach over fights first. They get the vantage point. They will try to, do the pressure fire on towards teams that they can see and fit on. They are the ones pretty much freely moving around, roaming around these areas. And now looking into Alter Ego, having spotted Nova. This is the other 2 combos that we're talking about. Jimmy and Paraboy now neck on neck now, standing. He was just standing in the middle, not doing anything. He managed to dodge a few bullets, and he got the tank of that grenade that was being tossed over by Paraboy. And now getting third party, it is Bacon time. Again, this is the team that has always get into people's or intervene in a sense.
But look at Nova though, they're 2 men up against the entire world. That is Alter Ego. They've already neutralized a number of the threats here. Only 2 more left standing to shoot, and they're running straight in, securing that kill. 1 more behind the door. They're going in with the peaks. Double peaks was there, but coming in from the flank side, he will trade that one off. Jimmy, he has to be careful for 1 more member. Or will that be it? Alter Ego coming in from the outside. He is trying to stop Paraboy in the process here. They know 1 member still lives, and he has to outplay this way if he is looking to still save his ally and maybe go in with a pickup. Meanwhile, Bacon time already shooting down onto the Eagles, but it is Paraboy who gets confirmed first, sending the message that 1 more member is well within the area. Jimmy, can he clutch these up?
Trying to do a slow-mo here. Building up the game. Throwing a nade towards them. And will tank a little bit of the damage. But that will not bring Jimmy down. And Jimmy will still wait for opponent to come in, but from a different angle. He's getting shots again from the angles, and Jimmy taking control, taking advantage over the shots was given here. But Namshin getting spotted from Aum, but he's still surviving. Eagles from the distance, proning away, but now already outnumbered. One man, you know what? Back in the lobby they go, because Bacon have this vantage point. They're taking precedence of it, and now they're just going to control one portion after another. And suddenly, we have only 3 teams left, which is Nova, Bacon Time, and SMG.
Bacon Time, they were robbed from the chicken dinner previously, and now this looks like the closest chance they can get again towards getting the chicken dinner. Have to be careful of SMG though, they're formidable, and now they are directly up against them. Nova is going to play Snake in the Grass at this point. But Bacon Time, they cannot be denied for a chicken dinner here. They've come in close once. This is the second time they have to close things off.
Trying to close it off, and they definitely know the existence of Jimmy. SMG, at least, this is the round that they are going to prove everybody else wrong. It's not only Nova and LGD is able to make those promises, because SMG, they managed with that trigger discipline, they build up the game, and now they got themselves a fraction of that circle, and they're trying to take precedence out of it by headshot. In the head, goes down, pick feet, will pick on towards Jimmy's head, and he goes down first. But Bacon Time already got the information and will try to go into the direction of where SMG is in.
Yeah, it's go time for the likes of Bacon Time here, but SMG, they've gone in with the reset. They're tossing more nades on forward. He does see the hit marker there, so he's kind of gotten an idea on where these members might be. It's Ice, who is right there, getting knocked out though. It is Shirty S, and now that is information transferred. It has turned the tides into a 3v3 battle. Bacon Time cannot afford making another mistake.
Looking to the Bacon right
Hold
now.
it right there. He saw one behind the trees, spraying on forward. It does clip with the marker there. Memory has got good ones, and it was passed over to Remember. Showed them time and time again why they are China's champions right now. Turning the tide onto their favor. It is Bacon Time falling one after another, and it's looking like they might just come in and close it all off, although 2v3 still very doable. SMG now pressing the issue, shooting across the smokes, blindly just wishing it hits. But they have even things out 2v2.
Oh, now we're going to do a little bit of the reset here with a Groza on, but he gets shot for Shirty, and this is going to be an outnumbered thing. We're looking into a 2v1 situation. SMG will go on a hunt here, but as you remember, we'll know exactly where to hit onto, and there you go, winner, chicken dinner for SMG from China.
My God, unfortunate it may be for Bacon Time. Twice now if they've gotten close to a chicken dinner, but it is SMG who snags it. 2 chicken dinners for today, although the first one being just a show match, but here they are to show up when it matters the most. Match 4 out of the 5 games to be played today. It is Team SMG showing once again why they are China's champion.
Yeah, man. And they definitely decide to do a tweak of their gameplay earlier. You know, they were pushed by 4 rivals, but the both of them had a gentleman agreement. But unfortunately, it's SMG who bite 4 rivals in the back. So it's still, they met up somehow. But because of that, it gives them that time to compose and reset. And not only that, they managed to get an advantage ahead of Bacon Time, who has been the one biting each other's backs over all the other teams that they are able to see from where they were.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did here. Looking very scary. But let's take a look at some of the highlights that you might have missed. A lot of fights happening in this crater field. I believe it was initially between 2 teams, and TX just comes in as a third party, ramming through the skulls of the member of Ban-Am. They could not stand a chance. Meanwhile, Infinity pushes onto Sam9 in such a phase of the circle where everyone was just not moving around. I guess the first mover will take the action and get things done. LGD had very, very promising round this time. It looked like they were up for the chicken dinner, but I don't know what happened to pan out within this fight here. What that got pretty sour, and they got taken out in the process.
Definitely. You know what? Initially, when we saw that the car that was moving towards
Yeah.
the head, I kind of moved also. Like I saw the car was coming out of the monitors, but that was a kind of good stun here. But Aumir, again, this is the team that has been barking, or I would say snorting on towards teams that has been, you know, coming into their angles. They have been pressuring fire over Eagles, over LGD, you name it. Everybody, they have been tapping onto. I'm very sure they got a great damage when it comes to Bacon Time, and I'm not surprised if the MVP actually came from their team.
Well, only time will tell as the stats will be up across the screen here, but it is Bacon Time that made the most movements, nearly a minute, nearly a 10,000 mark here. And meanwhile, second to that is only going to be Eagle Esports, who's played it very passive this time around. Not sure how in the actual world did they won going up against I believe it was LGD.
Yeah, you're right. Like initially it was LGD, and then it was brought over by a few other teams that was in the line along the way. But here we go. This is a chicken dinner for SMG with 11 elimination points. Bacon Time again. We all know how much they have been taking control of the circle with 14 in total. Nova with 11, Eagles with 8, LGD with 8. Alter Ego with 6, Infinity 5, D Savior with 5, 4 Rivals 4, Bow Now with 4, Geek with 3, and then this is the play of the match, and it's not coming from Bacon Time. It is actually from Nova Jimmy.
It is Jimmy. Nova did have a spectacular game this time around, and Jimmy
Last game.
did clutch it
Last
out
game
against that push that was pressed onto them, and so well-deserving MVP of the match it is.
Ay,
Although
babalik tayo dyan mga Lodi. Last game na lang yun eh. Meron pa tayong 5 minutes.
เออ
Wala pa. Okay, isa na lang guys ha. Isa na lang. Makapaglaro pa ako. Tapos may pa lang yun. Hanggang mas tayo. Last game na lang guys.
Thanks for the like, Negakida.
First game pa lang pala ni Fish.
ยิง
Yung problema si Ranggil maglaro. Ano, wala ng tao.
mอบ
Wala na talaging tao. Patay siya. Knockdown bigla. ako.
Tố cáo theo free fire. Cà gian lận, nhìn xuyên thấu, tố cáo, gian lận, tăng tốc nhìn xuyên thấu, súng không giật, đồng ý, tố cáo. Hindi pala skill mga lodi.
Titer nomor 4, titer, titer dia nomor 4, titer bang. Titer. There. Good. And. Sister and. Walker.
Thanks for the like Julius Susaya Taboso.
Friend, hello. Hello. Hey. N. Enemy N. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Ito ka naman matapos. Team code boss sabi ni Lodi. Hindi ako naglalaro Lodi. Ano ako? Tournament. Magsisimula na. 15 seconds guys. Last game na to mga Lodi. Last game na to guys. Maglalaro tayo pagkatapos na ito.
We do not know, and I don't know if this is going to be a wish list for Sector and
Hinihintay
Chuchu.
natin.
But Sosnovka military base looking very lonely right now. We need the circle gods to close onto Sosnovka to draw everyone else from the top islands downwards, and I don't know, play in that field. I think that place is a very interesting place, although it may not be the fairest of place because teams would have to go through so much hardships, but that makes it even more enjoyable because in the end of the day, I'm here at least to watch a good game. It doesn't really matter who ends up on top.
Yeah, right. It doesn't really matter for us as long as the teams will show us their strides. And I would actually be surprised if it's the team that will win the chicken dinner who did not come from Sosnovka itself. But here we go. Let's take the into Erangel, the last match of the day, and it seems like this flight is coming towards the area of Jogopol, all the way down into Milta. I don't know if I'm right, but there you go. On the door.
Power here. Well, that's gonna give a little bit of a travel for the likes of the team who likes to play down in southwestern side, Geek Fam included. They like to play Fairy Pier, Primorsk, and even for the likes of GD, I don't think they're gonna get Primorsk actually. So unless any vehicle to travel all over, we might just see some brand new drop spots and within the said same compound.
You're right, and then there's gonna be a switcheroo probably, or they might just be comfortable in each positions. We're looking into break in time. Yeah, I think they're not gonna trade in anymore because it's get eliminations, not rotations actually. I doubt actually to see a few teams. Honestly, for me, when I see PMRC, the difference here is the meta. We don't really see the survival skills right now. It's more on towards eliminations. It's very obvious that a lot of these teams, I would say, they still care about survival, especially if they're outnumbered. If they have manpower, they will still go neck on neck with one another, regardless which team that is. But no, Choo Sir Cloud, it's not going to be a wish list again. It is going to go all the way up north. And Rivertown Ozaki. Wow.
I like a northern circle. Which means Severny now looking super, super sexy right now.
Oh, wow.
For the rest of the teams to come in. They're attracted to that loot zones. And now they have to push in the pretty much the worst place on earth. The northern side. Nobody likes to go up there.
I do.
Really?
Yeah. Not much place to loot.
Exactly,
but
it's so barren.
Yeah. But it's a good place to, get information and wait.
Okay. Well, that's like Zarky in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
Just wait. Just disappear.
What? But kind of. I mean, at least it does give you that compensation in a sense of who gets to stay longer. But Yuhai here probably trying to cry out for mercy. I don't know why is he here. Probably he's trying to get a vehicle. So, some of these places, there is already a vehicle being spawned. But look, there's another car coming in nearby. I hope he knows and he won't run into the snake pit because these two teams keep clashing, Geek Fam and Sem9. And now looking to LGD, even they themselves can get themselves a good transportation. This is just a motorcycle. I'm sure they are looking for
Thanks
buggies.
for
They're
the
looking
like,
for
Christian
co-ops
Lamabi.
What is that? Okay, I thought it's a flying vehicle.
So because Geek Fam, hold that thought though, he spots on out. Dab shoots him, clips him by the edge, and that is Snipes with 0 armor. We'll have to immediately take an early bow out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately for Geek Fam, like I mentioned, Fairy Pier was just too far, too inaccessible for them to play this one out. But Micah OP coming in with the trade. The members of Sem9 are there to come in with another equal trade-off here, which means Geek Fam now has 2 left to play within the area. Do they really want to look to push and confirm the kill onto one member of Sem9? Is he really worth it? Or should they just book a ticket out of there?
I think it's worth it for them to push because, they are equipped with a double Bison. And after the buff, actually, Bison is almost as good as a UMP. It's quite sturdy, and it's when you press the trigger, it's a burst mode, and this burst mode, if you get to master it, you're gonna hit on the spot. It's gonna hurt so much. And looking into Yuhai, he only has a pistol to be on the defense as compared to Sem9. Oh, he has an Uzi. Sorry guys, my bad. But yeah, Uzi versus 2 Bison.
So what?
I think it will help.
Paranoia got the best of them. They thought it was in this area. But with the pistol shots here, seemingly doing enough damage to maybe take one. But the roof side, he's got to be careful. Coming in from behind the doors itself. Members of Geek Fam trying to play this one out. But they will with the sheer numbers.
Man. If, this was a chance for Geek Fam to climb up. And right now, the battle between 4 rivals, Sem9 and themselves, seems like either of these teams would take the lead. And looking at the lonely crate. Okay, no, we got over that. Yep, but they will come back stronger tomorrow, guys. Don't worry. We don't say goodbye or condolences to them yet. There's going to be 5 more matches tomorrow for Geek Fam. So I've seen how they come back. I've seen how they rose, and I'm sure it's not going to be impossible for them to come back tomorrow. We'll never know. I mean, they might just perch into number 6. I don't know. A lot of things can happen.
They might just, nothing wrong with optimistic thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You need a little bit more positivity, and I guess that's all we can give them at this current point in juncture. But we know they're a good team, just they're not finding their strides just yet. This is a different league that they're in. It's Southeast Asian, and so some of these movements they might not be familiar with, but man, Thailand just running away with it in the top 5 position. Only coupled along with them is China and Myanmar, Yangon and Nova, respectively.
Yep, and that view, initially there was a graphic, most throwable being used. Again, probably a whole lot of them came from the previous Erangel. The very first one today, where it was a compound to use a whole lot of throwables for that. Now, particular circle, I doubt we will probably see, maybe we would see more of the smokes instead of the other throwables, as it would be quite vulnerable if they were to toss, trying to cook the grenade. They would be spotted, the hands would be spotted, and then they would get a knock here. A total healing goes to Ranel 5x with 5,268 of healing. I'm not sure where did he actually heal that. Is that in Sandhawk?
Most probably, yeah. I don't know. Alter Ego has out of the circle, so it literally could be anything. But now Sem9 breaking more of the points because Banam just chooses to make the great escape, but they're right next to giving that one up. Harm is really in for harm's sake here. Trying to chase him down. Surely he gives up midway through, but what is that jump? Oh, he's gonna catch one up. Right on the eye. It's in the crosshair. Does clip.
So close.
So close. One bar gets knocked down, and now
no.
Max LV says so. Depp will have to come in and make it worth it for the likes of Sem9.
Shotgun.
But fortunately for Sem9, Harm, he is the lord of them all and really does a lot of damage.
Wow, Sem9 is back on fire. They won points and they mean it. They mean business this time. And they're going to go from one team to another. They got 2 out of that. Initially got the entire gig fam, and now they're going to go for more. With 6 nation points already for Sem9. They're going to take precedence, or they will
Thanks
try to
for the like,
prioritize the
Liuch
looting
Natipal.
first. From the distance, silence. We'll try to keep it silence on the cool right now to get on the backs of Lord or initially. And there you go. Nuzi getting on towards Baunam from the other angles. Yeah, again, these are the teams. Most of them are situated in Farm and Milta, trying to rotate back up. But Infinity might amongst all the teams right now who has their own contest.
Infinity still playing in the blue. They have vultures at this point. Scavengers taking of whatever's wounded soldier. Low hanging fruit, and they will take on that easy pickings. But let's look at the circle. 40% water. It is cut to play that way out, and all these teams rushing from the southern side. I would see loads of trouble happening over in Hospital, where it's going to be quite the choke point and an open rotation for some of these teams to make it up north.
Yeah, open rotation indeed. And now looking into GDGID over in the areas of shooting range, and now gonna get hurt. Hit hard.
Thanks for the like, Tiffany Morales, Tangogam
Who's
Onya.
also at the corners of shooting range, and they have 2 teams to eye upon here. We're looking to GDGID, and boom, again taking a fight with one another, trying to do the hit marker. Sneechil will get the assisted fire from the distance here. Okla will go down first. Booms again. This is concentrated into a few teams right now. Bauna also getting into the targets of them. This is pretty open. Too early to have be in the open. Quite exposed right now. Paraboy on the other hand hitting Loki, and Lau looking into Twans coming from Eagles. Yeah, a lot of these teams are getting quite vulnerable with being in the open, but this is exactly what I mean by early rotations.
Early rotations paying out not so much dividends, if not GD finds themselves in a huge deficit right now, losing nearly 2 members. They did get the pickup though, but right now they should be looking for the push to secure some of that kills, and they will. That is 4 rivals taking 1 member of GD. Can they look for more? Because GD, they're stuck in between and can't really make an exit. If they do, boom, will be prepared for them.
Yeah, now gonna do a quick looting for Appy. We'll confirm that position first, and they will not push for more because they know it's in the open, very vulnerable. They got a hole being greedy. There you go. Apple being spotted from the distance here, and this is talking about the areas of shooting range. They got themselves the underground pass here, and they will have the time to revive. No problem with that. Doing the reset while Apple is being the scouter on the hills. He will make a way back home. There you go. He's gonna come back, and this is gonna be their safe grounds for now. Safe heavens at least. And Appy will go on to another angle. We'll try to confirm the position of Yangon Galacticos at least, sharing on towards the same compounds.
Sharing is a good thing to do. But unfortunately in PUBG Mobile, that's not an option. Space ain't big enough for the both of us. And then someone will have to bow out. And will it be Yangon who was here first? Or will it be the invaders, 4Rivals themselves? Meanwhile, Sem9 tries to break in, make their way into the circle side. Surely don't want to take the fights right here, right now. It's only a futile effort for them to do so, since they will end up themselves within the blue. And so they will choose instead to make a move here. Meanwhile, SMG now gunning down members of Nova. Losing one after another. One confirmed in the grave. I forgot to see who that was, but if that was Order, that's a lot of firepower now down for the count.
Now for the count indeed, Sem9 being targeted in different angles. They try to make that late rotation, but at the same time being gunned down by a few teams. Initially it was gunned down by Banao. Now they are going to be gunned down by FaZe Clan. I don't know how they're going to make their rotation possible, but it seems like they will get caught out for a while here. We're not seeing them in the current circle. They are still in the blues. But right now, this is the circle, not totally focused towards the waters anymore. It's just at least 5% as compared to the mainland here. And places that I would say is a prestigious or prime position has been taken over by D-Savior. Coming in towards is Nova. 4Rivals having all this prime position. Now trying to corner down Yangon Galacticos is Volky and the entire team of 4Rivals, but they gotta be ready because Nova is actually ahead on top of them. So they gotta be ready and they have to be wary of their heads.
They will be wary of their heads, indeed. Especially with Nova being on the top hill. They have eyes onto the members of Sem9 here. Should they overpeak, they will get gunned down in the efforts, but they will have no reason to do so because they found themselves inside this circle for the time being. They can look to play things a little bit slower. But with Nova occupying the top ground, it seems more likely than not Sem9 might have to push onto the more often than not.
More often. Ready, he's definitely getting information, at least in the positions of Yangon. The location of 4Rivals because of the vehicles, but it's hard to see them because the position that they are using right now is very smart. You're using the terrains, right? And I know this is quite a areas where they can just hide onto, and it's impossible for teams to actually hit them on that particular area. It's a smart place to be in, and especially coming into circles like this, it's pretty much you have to know the terrains very well. Like, you know, the places that even LGD is choosing.
Yep.
I mean, the only angle that can reach him is only from the sides, yeah, but he is making it, trying to keep a close counter of that. But Sem9 managed to get into the circle. Although they are one of the last few teams to get into the main circle, they're going to try to play it by the back.
Yeah, but they have to go uphill. It's going to be a hard push for them, I would imagine so. But let's take a look at GD right now, losing one member. Still very, very formidable at this point. 3-man can do damage as they speak, but if he crashes onto Alter Ego without knowing first who resides on the inside, surely he saw a glimpse of them by the window. That's why they're moving on backwards. And with that nade, that would confirm the position of Alter Ego. And now they have to make the decision, the executive decision, to whether to push in, force the issue, or find another way in to rotate.
Yep. Trying to find a way to rotate. Control over Server E, but we all know even though you have a compound, especially coming into circles like this, there are still vantage points available, hence they can't pop their head anytime. You know, it's going to be vulnerable, compromising, showing off exactly, or giving that information towards teams, and exactly what D-Savior is doing, something smart here, just holding on to the grounds. Although they can do a little bit of the peak, they're not going to release any form of trigger at all. But all of a sudden, Now Nova will have to go head to head with FaZe Clan, and this is going to be a knock on the door for 4Rivals. They are very close to one another. You can see there's a stage here, and in fact, 4Rivals giving a shot over to SMG elsewhere, and that's quite a great distance here. If you were to look into the mini map, or you can say the big map right now. They have been seeing one another and confirmed the kill, but it's not from 4Rivals. It was a kill still, in fact, from another team that decides to see that knockdown. But as we wait for the build-up for the fight to happen over in these areas, they are still waiting for a lot of the time to, see one another. This is still quite a big of a circle, and if they get to see one another, they are just going to dodge the bullet away.
Dodging bullets. That sounds almost impossible, but that's exactly what's happening for Infinity, who's trying their best to dodge the entire skirmish here. Decides to just book a ticket out of there. They've lost too many as it is. God Tuny is down for the count. They will instead rotate to the next compound accessible towards them. Find their way and shelter in there, but Newsy gets stuck a little bit though. Allen will secure a single head count onto Newsy himself. That is one of the MVP coming from the side of the Infinity, so they have to try and make it work. They have to go in with the revive.
Yep, coming in with the revive here, tapping on towards Logan now. Spotting on towards GDGID in the compound, battling it out with the people that is currently on the outskirts, shooting straight on towards the areas of Infinity back towards, and you know what, GDGID is ready for a fight and they are going to build it out. They're going to try and cook some grenades, tossing it over the compound where they have confirmed the fact that Infinity is there but not taking a single bit of the damage yet. They are still being okay, no problem. They're going to try and stay as long as it takes in order for GDGID to throw whatever troubles they've got in their bag to make the entire team being into the lobby, because we can see they are tanking a little bit by bit, not a single one of them getting that knock. But looking into another side of the circle right now, Eagles have a very good place to be in, and this is quite a great distance here, looking into Bacon Time versus a few of the teams on the other side here, and now pushing it back into Infinity, and they got themselves the knock, and this is an assisted fire from the Savior.
Yeah, GD now falling one member is down, trying to push it aggressively onto the Infinity. Unfortunately, did not pan out the way they wanted to, but Alter Ego watching from afar. Scavengers, as we speak here, waiting to see, oh, he saws one by the stairwell. Surely they look to make the push right now. Jumps onto the back-end side, but GD gets knocked out by Alter Ego. Coming in as a third party. And Infinity, they come in clean, but can they take more? Alter Ego spraying two members down. Leaving only one more. Even he fell down with.
Wow.
Only one member left standing alive. They have to go in with the revive before Alter Ego can close in the gap. But how much time do they have already with the buggy? Drives on in. Alter Ego all surrounded the side of Infinity here, who's trying to go in with the heal. The spray is there. They're coming in from the flank side backline. Can they play this one out though? It's Newsy up against the rest of the teams of Alter Ego. He will not trade one behind the car. And this is looking grim. The Infinity will go out into the lobby. Three eliminations.
That was unfortunate, because they got themselves a fight and they got third party from another angle. And how did we expect that? It was from the lurks or the ages of the church. That was a clever play there by Alter Ego, waiting for the right time. And now LGD here, still coming on towards the perimeters of shooting range. Apparently, a few of the teams have to be situated over here where, a lot of the teams have already settled down. And it's going to be quite impossible for them to spot one another out unless somebody has a good vantage point, and right now I don't think that vantage point is in their circle. Actually push one another, at least from that particular point. Looking to FaZe Clan, they are the teams that is scouting. Seeing a lot of this, but they are not able to push because they got to leave the extraction out first, which is, there you go, Sam9 has already taken a fight with them, and you know what, they are currently being caught off by different angles here. Sam9 Putra getting into Tony K. One by one goes down. Putra will get that confirm elimination point. They got 7 already.
7 points, that's a lot. Sam9 tying things out with Alter Ego. How many members do they still have for Sam9? 3 still if they can go in with the revive onto Lord Harm, but it doesn't seem like they would, as Lord Harm gets taken out, confirmed into the grave by FaZe Clan themselves. Depp now has got eyes on a member of phase right behind the tree lines. He spots out with the scopes. And they look to make something happen. Info has been transmitted on the side of Putra. Putra can come in from the top side fire, but we will zoom out and take a look at the mess that is this battlefield itself. Young on Galacticos trying to play it passive as they may, hiding down, but it is Bacon Time who is slowly crawling into their chambers here. Bacon Time primes it up. Barry goes in, take out one member, 4 rivals.
4 rivals going down one by one. Grenade is being prepped here, but Sando being the third party of Bacon Time and now eliminated somehow. On the top is Sam9. Again, this place is over-compromised for Pumburu and his friends. He is going to try and take the fight one by one, but with FPP mode on, Sando again trying to keep quiet first. Initially was pushing the trouble and fire on towards the Bacon Time, getting a trade here. LGD being a third party by the two teams that are having a fight over under the perimeters. There we go, pushing onto one another, but just like that, they fall into like a domino.
Domino is a fact. One fall, we all fall. Divided, we conquer, they say, but Bacon Time is now eliminated. The efforts that they try to push on in, they will be denied yet again. Another chicken dinner, but LGD, now they have the dominating status with the 5 kills into the hand. Still all 4 members up and ready to do damage within this crowd right here. And the current contestants, it's gonna be DX, Alter Ego, also with 7 kills on their hands already. They're looking to do damage this round. And SMG, can they clean things up and claim their 3rd ever chicken dinner for the day?
Oh my god, I don't want to be the one of the teams here. It's so hard, kids. Look into this. Like, nobody can just pop their head. The moment they do that, it's so vulnerable for everyone. Because especially in FaZe Clan, having that vantage point, they can be, you know what, let's focus into this team. They can just pick on fights here. But D Xavier having the most safest place to be in. They can choose on which one to go on first. And looking into it, Alter Ego thought that was a safe position to be. But hey, surprise, surprise, from the back here, D Xavier will disturb the peace for Alter Ego. Now, Lamborghini, again, being the last few teams to come in, again, I would say this is a tactic working for D Xavier, at least for a comeback. They are waiting for the right time to push in. And there you go. Because of this, they get themselves a little bit of the time to reset, trying to still spray on towards areas on Alter Ego, but that will not return any of that damage at all.
DX have to be careful, though. The smokes that that DX was playing behind with is now timed out. Now Alter Ego has got clear sights, clear vision onto the rest of the member of DX. Here they are, playing by the edge. Alter Ego, they are gambling it all onto
Thanks for the
last
like, Mark
3
Justine
members, and they've
Abayan.
done so well. LGD with 6, and all members still left alive, looking very plausible towards that chicken dinner. And it's all thanks to this new composition, including CC.
Including CC. CC the man. Taking the MVP as compared to when he plays in China. He always gets the MVP, but at least we're going to save that for later. Hopefully he will come into one of the MVPs by looking to BR11. Again, these are the people who gets the most information right now. That's the reason why they are able to reset. They have nothing to bother, at least people from the back. Yeah. Even though we have one player at the side of FaZe Clan right now, which is a player from LGD, but they are playing it really wisely, being very cool with the timing. They know when to push. This is not the right time to push. They're going to chill out a little bit. But out of a sudden, looking into Alter Ego, 7 elimination points. Wow, that's definitely something that we didn't see coming from them, because they managed to get that surprise visit from Infinity, or let's just say they gave Infinity a surprise by the Regis.
I don't think it's much of a surprise if it's coming in to hurt you in the process, and so it's more of a bad news if you ask me. Meanwhile, Alter Ego still playing their way. They're in the circle, but it looks like they've got the bad part of the circle here. And meanwhile, same can be said about Nova as they take a nade onto 2 members. They drop like be burned in the process. It's all deployed, Molotovs and a nade, and they're going in with the pickup. So thankfully for them, they might still live. But how long as more nades get its thoughts thin? They're going in with the straight pawn push here. It's D Xavier trying to run in. Rabbit, as it seems, they're going to go in with the entry spot here, but comes in from the back line. Lamborghini with the drop shot will take one down. Funnel, they will be through the doorway, but it is the Axe Xavier themselves who will eliminate one of the China Giants.
Yeah.
That is Nova.
There you go. That's what you get for being patient, you know, coming out from that secure area, and they build up the game. They know exactly how to play with this circle. It says a lot about the knowledge of that team itself. Alter Ego is another team that decides to come by the perimeters, one of the last few teams to come in, and now having their sights onto SMG, and SMG has not a single cover as compared to how the other team managed to get a few covers by the Regis here. But 4 rivals being eliminated by LGD, if I'm not mistaken. They are very close to one another, and they are by the perimeters. No chance for them to come in, and this is where the fight begins between Eagle versus LGD.
Eagles and LGDs right here. Just see who's going to stand on top here. LGD has definitely got more to lose, seeing as though they're on a great streak, but right now dropping like flies, and that is them eliminated. LGD 6 eliminations, and just like that, they drop all members, and now Young Good Galacticus is looking like the next victor name. They have one more to play. And the Axe looking like the next victor.
Oh no, but hang on. Again, timing is at the back, but he had somebody to play a big role for that. And dominating out of her sudden, Yangon Galacticos coming from the sides here, taking the control of the entire angle, coming from the south area of the current circle. They are still alive with one player in, similar to FaZe Clan. Now on the advantage is Dingo Xavier. 4 men still alive with 7 elimination points. And they're going to play it smart. They're going to build up the game because they are in the center of the circle.
Center of the circle. They said that is the eye of the storm. Places to be. And it is going to hold true for itself as now D Xavier finds themselves looking 360, having to deal with the rest of the teams that are lurking all around them. Do they have enough of the manpower? They do. They have maximum manpower to guard every potential angle that they may come from.
Yeah, there you go. The angles that we're talking about, they have a little bit of the cliff or the small pop-up hill that we're talking about. That's going to give them the leverage, some time to actually build up the extractions here. Though we are seeing one person from Boom, and this is coming from the shelter below where the Xavier is at. So this is going to give him some time to play for survival points. There's no chance or no point to push in. That's pretty smart of Boom to come in straight. But Yangon Galacticos still been domineering, taking control of informations that they've got from the side here. D Xavier though coming forward to find Alter Ego. Such boldness coming from Lamborghini with the jump punch here, trying to dethrone Adia Ray. So yeah, and there you go. The push has happened. Buggy has been pushed around the areas of Alter Ego, and sprays right in the minute, seeing that Rabbits trying to do a road kill and managed to get one in the back. Easy peasy. Just
is up next, just shooting down onto Rabbits, but not seemingly connecting the dots here. He will trade that one out. Only Namshin from Eagle Esports left to play it out, but Boom, they have the ace in a hold. It's Risey playing on the inside, downstairs, but with that hit marker, I think D Xavier already know that there's a member of Boom on the downside. The spray comes in, that would confirm the rest of Eagle Esports into the lobby, into the graveyard, and it is left with Boom to try and make the difference here. That's a painful hit, but they have all 4 members, and Riz is just trying to run back in with the shotgun. It is D Xavier who comes out on top. The champions from the 31st D Games Vietnam now looking to claw their way back to the same status. It is D Xavier with the final chicken dinner of the day.
You know what, Keith? We had the caster's curse not being a curse anymore. Remember what we said earlier? It's probably a Vietnam day. We got Yangon. I mean, the region, around the areas. But then we've got D Xavier that came back. You know, they were the champions. So today, not really a Thailand day.
Well, it isn't, that's for sure. But I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a Vietnam day, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
I know.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I got it wrong. Man, my geography.
It's okay, in case you missed that one out, don't remember what the mistakes, Sis Jenny said. Remember instead the match that went on. In case you missed it, here are the highlights.
Yeah, the highlights. There you go. This is the part where Alter Ego got your confidence. You know, he was farming just by doing the shot. He was like, you know what? If this guy had an M249, he would probably just